Welcome everybody to Ohsweken Speedway for Friday night excitement. Tonight brought to you by Renway Energy. My name is Greg Kellman. With me is Clayton Johns and Clinton Jeffries out on patrol tonight. Clayton, we're back to all four divisions. That's it, nothing extra. But this is where the points really start to heat up. The dog days are over, and now we're only weeks away from crowning champions.
The track's back to its bread and butter here. Like you said, it's our 4 weekly divisions, and it's going to get intense here. We've only got about 4 or 5 point nights left for the different divisions, and it's really going to get exciting. It's really time to put your best foot forward, give everything you've got, but you got to be smart about it because there is still 4 or 5 nights. You can't put yourself out of the running here with 5 nights to go.
Well, we've got cars on track already. It's the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks with their first qualifying heat of the night. Cars rolling through 1 and 2. Cody Somerville will start on the pole aboard car number 517. Along outside of him, the pinball Mike Giberson, the Wall of Famer. Car number 11 will start in second. Row number 2 at the inside in the third starting spot from Dunville, the 116T. That's Jason Thompson. And going from fourth, Jeff Elslager out of Linden in the 11E. Going from fifth, Dave Goodacre in the 05. He's from Brantford. And Aiden Nye will go from sixth out of Simcoe in the 88. Tim Jameson, the 177 from Ohsweken, starts 7th. Jeremy May will go from 8th. As we've got Dave Goodacre around out of the exit of corner number 4. As we'll see if he will keep it going or not. We're still under green flag conditions. Dave Goodacre will get the car turned around. And we'll stay green with Jeff Elslager out in front over Aiden Nye.
Dave Goodacre, a real good sport there to refire that number 05 machine. Allow this first qualifying heat race to stay green. Elslager and Aiden Nye pulling away from the field here early on. Lap number 1 in the books. Top 2 breaking away. Aiden Nye shows the nose to the inside of the 11E.
Here comes Nye down to the inside of quarter number 3. First of 4 qualifying heats here tonight for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Nye on the bottom side will work it. And now here comes Elslager with a head of steam on the outside. They're side by side at the line with Nye leading.
Looked like Nye had the advantage coming into corner number 3 and out of turn number 4. Jeff Elslager's not going to go away though up in that top lane. The number 11 East keeping pace with the 88 car down the back straight here, working on lap number 3 of this 6-lap qualifying heat race, halfway this time by.
Nye clearly the leader now at the cross flags. 3 and 3 to go in heat race number 1. So it's Nye, Elslager, Jameson, Somerville, and Giberson your top 5.
Single file all the way around the speedway right now. Aiden Nye, the race leader, running that outside groove so far here. Track starting to widen out a little bit further through those through those hot lap sessions earlier on in the night. And now with 2 laps to go here in this qualifying heat race, Aiden Nye starting to pull away a little bit from Jeff Elslager's number 11. About 5 car lengths as advantage they race into corner 3.
Catching the tail end of the field with Dave Goodacre with 2 laps left to go for him. Now the white flag being displayed for Aiden Nye over Elslager. And the 177 of Tim Jameson. The battle for the 4th spot continues to be close as Cody Somerville trying to hold on over the pinball Mike Giberson.
Giberson showed the nose a little bit to that inside lane a couple of times, but hasn't had enough momentum to get it done. He'll chase him down the back straightaway here on the final lap. Goodacre takes the white flag. Checkered flag waves though for Aiden Nye. He wins heat race number 1. Elslager will take the 2nd spot. The 3rd position will go to the 517 of Cody Somerville. Pardon me, the 177 of Tim Jameson. Cody Somerville takes home the 4th spot, and the pinball Mike Giberson comes home in 5th in car number 11. Those drivers qualified to tonight's A feature.
So again, 4 qualifying heats here tonight for the mini stock division.
Well, hey guys.
Oh, there's Clinton Jeffrey. How you doing, Clint?
I don't know if I'm loud enough, but
we'll turn you up.
Just want to mention that I don't know if you guys talked about Kyle and Jimmy and Cam, what's going on here. So our regular starter, Kyle McKenzie, text Doug and I today. Did you talk about this at all, Greg?
We haven't yet. We were going
getting
to, but
to
go
it.
ahead.
So Kyle messaged us and says, my wife went into labor, so we'll talk about that after this heat. So we send our best out to Kyle and his wife, and we'll talk about that coming up after this heat, guys. Great story, though, and we wish him all the best.
Steve Miller draws the pole for this one. He's out of Brantford in car number 79. Christopher French alongside in the 2nd spot in car 54. He's from Stratford. In the 3rd starting spot, Trevor Want from Niagara Falls in the 19T. And Mike Surantakos will go from 4th in the 6X. Back in the 5th starting spot, Rob Twitchett, who had a lot of work to do to get back to the track here this week. He's out of Dundas in the 69 machine. He starts 5th alongside in car number 1 from Guelph. It's Jason Tolton starting 6th. Kyle Wirt, the point leader, goes from 7th. He's out of Ancaster in car number 19, and Mike Evers out of Caledonia in the 265.
Green flag waving on heat race number 2 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stock. Still 2x2. Looks like 3 wide for the race lead off of corner number 2. Here comes the 19X machine to the inside. Trevor Want trying to wrestle that lead away from Steve Miller in the 79.
Big pack of cars right there at the front. The entire field all right there as Steve Miller holds tight with Trevor Want going down into corner number 1. Christopher French right there. A little bit of smoke coming out of the Want, number 19.
Seemed like in the first heat we were single file by the end of lap number 1, and just about everybody's running side by side here as we roll into corner number 3 on lap number 2. A little bit of a bobble there from Trevor Want in the 19X up in corner number 3. Gets it pointed back in the right direction. Continues to lead here with 2 in the books. Christopher French, Steve Miller going at it for that second spot right now. Miller up on the top side. Here comes Kyle Wirt into the mix. 3-car battle for second.
Want pulling away with French and Miller right behind him, the point leader. Kyle Wirt right there tucked up in behind the 79 of Miller. And here comes Dundas's Rob Twitchett to his inside. He'll drop alongside as they cross the stripe into the 4th spot.
These drivers battling for top 5 positions can't get away from each other. Trevor Want's the only one that's been able to distance himself a little bit. A little bit of clean air for the driver of the 19X machine allowed him to open up a 5-car length lead, but it's Rob Twitchett and Christopher French going at it now 3 wide as Kyle Wirt comes through the middle. Steve Miller got shuffled back a little bit, and oh no, problems for the number 69 of Rob Twitchett. He slows, takes that car to the infield. Will continue on, but tough break for the driver of the 69 who was in a transfer spot.
Yeah, a lot of work went into getting that car back together. I saw photos of it on Facebook this week, and the entire front end was ripped apart on that car and got it back together, but the Cal Tire 69 comes to rest in the infield.
The 19X of Trevor Want takes the white flag. One more trip around this 3/8 mile oval to try and pick up a heat race win, but he's going to have to hold off the current point leader, Kyle Wirt, in car number 19. Want in the blue 19X and Wirt in the white and green number 19 machine. Final 2 corners off of corner number 4. Trevor Want is going to hang on and pick up the checkered flag here in heat race number 2. Kyle Wirt finishes in 2nd. Jason Toltenberg, Christopher French 4th. And holding on to take the final transfer spot, the 79 of Steve Miller, Mike Sarantakos, Mike Evers, and Rob Twitchett all going to the B main this evening.
Well, guys, quickly, back what we were talking about there with Kyle McKenzie, our regular flagger. We want to send him the best. Called us today around 3 o'clock, said, Doug, Clint, my wife went into labor. I'm not going to be able to make it tonight, so we send our best out to the McKenzies. And that means Cameron Thompson gets the call. Cam, welcome to the big stand tonight. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. We got the junior flaggers, but there's some of the best up-and-comers in the business, guys. So glad to have Cameron in the flagging and Jimmy dropping the flower in turn 4 tonight.
Well, the night of your wedding, Clayton, I spent most of the time with Kyle as we were at the same table, and he was just worried they weren't going to make it past the Summer Nationals with this baby arriving, and he got past that hurdle, and I think they're glad they got as far as today. So all the best to Kyle and Caitlin, and great news.
I asked him if he thought his kid would show up in the middle of the long weekend. He said, well, it's my kid, and that's what I would do, so probably. He got past that, though. It didn't ruin his long weekend, so.
So you don't have any kids yet. You just said ruined.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, 3rd heat. Kevin Thorne on the pole in the 360 on the outside. Jonathan Ayrton in the 21. Row 2, again, Wade Thorne in the 10 machine is what it's listed as. And Brian Crosgrove in the 96. Cole Hardy also out there in the 7C. Daniel McKay in the 13M. Fabio Oliveri in the 16. And Ryan Hiller, the hot shoe there, the rookie driver, all the way up to the 3rd spot already from the 8th starting position.
From the exit of corner number 2 to the exit of corner number 4, Ryan Hiller went from 6th to in a battle for 2nd with Brian Crosgrove's number 96. Draws to the inside. And now the 21 of Jonathan Ayrton being chased by the 21H of Ryan Hiller. And look at the head of steam that Fabio Olivieri has on the outside.
Yeah, he's up there, but he runs out of room up in corner number 3 as Crosgrove right there in the middle. I can't tell if that's a bit of smoke coming out of the back end of the 96. Yeah, it looks like it.
Looked like Daniel McKay might have fallen off the pace just a little bit. He got a tap from the 7C of Cole Hardy as they entered corner number 1. Everybody stays pointed straight, and continues on down the back straightaway. Hillard to the inside of Jonathan Ayrton for the race lead in corner number 3. They'll see halfway this time by 3 down, 3 to go. Still Jonathan Ayrton holding on to the point position here on lap number 3.
Pair of 21s out in front, and here comes Fabio Oliveri looking for the 3rd spot down to the inside of the 96 of Brian Crosgrove. Fabio gets a good run off of corner number 2, and now Cole Hardy also gets a good launch there. He's in that 5th and final transfer spot, looks low on the 96.
Good couple of battles here, battling for the 4th spot, the 7C of Cole Hardy, the 96 of Brian Crosgrove. Both those drivers in transfer positions right now, but Daniel McKay lurking right there, waiting for one of them to make a mistake as he runs in the 6th spot right now in that number 13 machine. And that battle for the race lead is becoming a 3-car battle as Fabio Olivieri comes to the inside as they race to the white flag.
This will be an interesting final lap as Ayrton is on the outside, Hiller on the bottom, and Oliveri right there waiting to capitalize on either of these drivers. Oliveri gets a good run on Hiller as they go down the backstretch. Ayrton able to distance himself just a little bit.
Fabio Olivieri couldn't get the car turned quite enough to go on the inside, on the outside, but he turns it underneath Hiller off of corner number 4. Not going to be enough though. Jonathan Ayrton picks up the win. Ryan Hiller comes home in the 2nd spot. 3rd to Fabio Olivieri, Brian Crosgrove, Cole Hardy rounding out the top 5. They transfer to tonight's A feature.
So one more qualifying heat left to go for these HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Following that, we'll have crate sprints, then the 360 sprints, and the Thunderstocks. That will be the order of operations tonight. Same for the feature events. 4th and final qualifier lines up like this from the pole out of York, Ontario. The 9 of Tim DeBoer, 2nd place in points coming into tonight. And alongside him, 3rd place in points out of Hagersville, the 23, Dusty DeBoer. Going from 3rd, Paul Longboat from Ohsweken, the 188. And from the 4th spot, Tristan De Silva out of Waterdown in the 01. Tim Newell goes from 5th. In the 26 machine, John Cote from the 6th spot in the 38C. Chris Reichman out of Hamilton, the 93, goes 7th. And Rick Robinson from Simcoe goes in car number 5 from the 8th position. Shout out to the folks from Leggett Chevrolet, proud supporters of Tristan De Silva's 01 machine, and attendance here tonight. Hope you enjoy your night at the races, and it's always a lot more fun when you've got someone to cheer on. You cheering on that white and orange 01 of Tristan De Silva, having a fantastic sophomore year. As the pack heads down into corner number 3, it's Tim and Dusty DeBoer side by side.
Good battle up front between those DeBoer family members. Dusty DeBoer with the edge going into corner number 1. Tim trying to fight back on the bottom. Tristan De Silva right there as well. Top 3 starting to break away a little bit, but Tim Newell says, nope, I'll come along in that number 26 machine. 4 cars up front battling for the race lead. Tim DeBoer a little bit sideways there as he tries to chase Dusty down.
John Cote and Paul Longboat had their problems up in corner number 3. Cote had to slow down for Longboat. Not sure what's wrong on the 188. He came down slow. Tires are up on the right-hand side. So a mechanical problem for the 188, although he remains in the middle groove. Not sure if he's going to be able to pull to the infield.
Looked like he didn't feel he had enough power to get up over the banking there. Kept it to the inside. We'll pull to the infield. We will stay green here just past the halfway point. Still Dusty and Tim DeBoer going at it at the front of the field. Tim Newell getting by Tristan De Silva. Now he comes after Tim DeBoer for the 2nd spot.
It's Newell working that inside line. That's the car that won the championship 1 year ago in this division. Matt Newell behind the wheel. And Tim Newell now will slip to the inside of Dusty DeBoer, take the lead. So put Dusty back to 2nd. Tim DeBoer in a fight with Tristan De Silva for the 3rd spot. And Chris Reichman right now, that 93, he's comfortably where he needs to be in a transfer position.
Reichman nailing down that 5th and final transfer spot, the top 4 positions. Far from being decided here in this final lap as Tim Newell has taken the lead. Dusty DeBoer running the 2nd spot in car number 23. 3rd, the number 9 of Tim DeBoer, and then the 01 of Tristan De Silva in 4th here as they race through these final 2 corners. Dusty DeBoer, bit of momentum on the bottom side. Can he get it done? Not enough time. Tim Newell picks up the win in heat race number 4. Dusty DeBoer, Tim DeBoer, Tristan De Silva, and Chris Reichman, the top 5 transferring through. John Cote, Rick Robinson, Paul Longboat going to the B main.
Once again, I want to thank our friends at Renway Energy for presenting tonight's race night. the official fuel and lubricant supplier of Ohsweken Speedway for all your heating and air conditioning needs. Call Renway Energy. See the crate sprint cars getting pushed off over on the warm-up track there, and that track on Thursday nights used for our micro sprints. And last night, those of you that were on Facebook maybe got a chance to tune in to some live micro sprint racing, and that's something we're going to build towards doing on a weekly basis as well. So that track puts on some great racing on Thursday nights, but it's used to bring these full-size cars to life as they push them off over there, and the crate sprints get ready for their first qualifying heat.
First of 4 qualifying heats for the 38 Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars signed in for competition tonight. Starting on the pole of heat race number 1 at Beachville, Ontario, the driver of the 5 stars, DJ Christie. Outside him at Gorse Landing, Ontario, car number 19 is Brandon Merle. And inside of row number 2, the MK8 at Hagersville, that is Matthew Hill. Outside of him out of Ohsweken, the number 28 is Jordan Hill. 5th starter out of Binbrook, Ontario, and car number 29 is Liam Martin. 6th starter out of Brantford, that is 69K of Jason Dixon, and going off from the 7th spot out of Fonthill, the 08 of Stephen Beckett. In the 8th starting spot out of Carlisle, the 1C of Davey Boughton, lining up at the 9th spot, the 70 M&M of Dave McKnight Jr., and in the 10th spot in the 4B, that is Rick Schumann out of Greenville, Arizona, joining us here tonight with the Bar Motorsports team. Not sure if Clinton has any details on that, but I'm not familiar with the story, the connection there between the Bar Motorsports team and Rick, so maybe Clinton has some more information he can chime in with if he can get it for us at some point throughout the night.
Well, I know the Bar team have been working with a bunch of different drivers in that car, and he was one that they had talked about being in for a while, so we'll see how it goes. Ryan Litt looked pretty good last week in his second time in the car. We'll see how Schumann does his first here tonight.
You know, it's good equipment, so we'll see what he can do from the back of heat race number 1. 10 cars, 8 laps the distance, top 5 to tonight's A feature. Green flag waving on heat race number 1 for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars.
Doesn't take them long to fan out as they head down the front stretch and into corner number 1. Good fight for the 2nd spot right now. Jordan Hill and Brandon Merle going at it. All behind race leader DJ Christie.
Bit of a tough start there for Matthew Hill in the MK8. Went from the 3rd starting spot back to 8th there by the end of corner number 2. Just got shuffled in the wrong direction there. Battle up front though is Davey Boughton in that 1C battling with Brandon Merle. They're racing for the 2nd and 3rd positions, and right behind them, the 29 of Liam Martin, the 28 of Jordan Hill. Good battle up front. Again, top 5 drivers going to transfer to tonight's A feature. Now Stephen Beckett battling with Liam Martin for that final transfer spot.
Fair to say there's going to be some good drivers not making the A main out of these qualifying heats once again here tonight. Liam Martin right now is on the outside looking in. You've got Stephen Beckett right there in the thick of things as well. So it is tough every week to get out of these qualifying heats, and some drivers finding that right here tonight.
Brandon Merle and Davey Boughton with a really good battle here for that 2nd spot. A couple of drivers still getting their feet wet in these crate sprint cars. Sophomore season for Brandon Merle. Davey Boughton dabbled with these cars over the last couple of seasons, but in a new car here this year, the new number in the 1C machine, and they will not get away from each other here. This battle for the 2nd spot as Merle continues to fight in that bottom lane to try and wrestle that runner-up position away.
Yeah, one driver that we don't talk enough about when we talk about improvements is the 19 of Brandon Merle, who has been so good this year, just night and day from where he was 1 year ago. And he's up there running in 3rd, and he's right in the thick of it every week now.
Yeah, definitely competing on a week-to-week basis. The driver, that number 19. Problems for the 69K of Jason Dixon. Not sure if he got into the outside wall with the right rear tire completely obliterated on that machine. He nurses it to the exit ramp and will stay green here on heat race number 1. DJ Christie, one more trip around the park in that 5-star machine. Races into corner number 3 and brings the highlighter yellow machine off of corner number 4. Checkered flag waves. DJ Christie wins heat race number 1. Davey Boughton in 2nd. Brandon Merle 3rd. Jordan Hill in the 4th spot. And Stephen Beckett in 5th. They will go to tonight's A feature.
So Liam Martin, Dave McKnight, Matt Hill will go to the B main tonight, as well as Rick Schumann back there in the Bar Motorsports machine. So impressive run by Davey Boughton as well up there in that 2nd spot. Another driver has been solid here since making his return, but he and Brandon Merle good, solid runs up there in second and third. And what more can you say about DJ Christie? This kid just gets better every week.
Seems to be up in contention more often than not now in that 5-star machine. Wins from the pole here. And Davey Boughton, definitely the hard charger in that one, from 8th to 2nd to finish in a runner-up spot and transfer into tonight's 8 feature. So good job by the number 1C of Davey Boughton. Heat race number 2 rolling trackside now, and starting on the pole out of Six Nations, Ontario, and car number 20 is Johnny Miller. Outside him at Welland, Ontario, car number 3B of Blaine Barrow, and rolling off inside of row number 2 in the 3rd starting spot at Kitchener, Ontario, the number 39 is Shane Stickle. 4th starting spot at Port Colborne, Ontario, the 5D of Jacob Dykstra, and lining up in the 5th spot, a top 5 driver in the point standings coming into tonight out of Beamsville, Ontario, the number 1 EH, it's the Beamsville Bullet, Paul Klager. 6th starter out of Burford, Ontario, the number 12 of Brad Heron, and going off in the 7th starting spot, the number 14 out of Thamesford, Ontario, it's Eric Gledhill. 8th starter out of Ancaster, Ontario, the 26X of Terry Baker, and going off 9th out of Scotland, Ontario, the number 83 of Spencer Davis, and shotgun on the field from the 10th starting spot out of Rockwood, Ontario, the number 74 of Rob Neely. 10 cars, 8 laps the distance, top 5 drivers qualifying into tonight's A feature.
I want to say a big hello to all those Johnny Miller fans watching in the state of Arizona. Talking to John Miller, Johnny's dad, he said there's like a whole chapter of Johnny Miller fans in Arizona. They get together in a local establishment and they put the live feed on and get to watch Johnny. And they just got their apparel here tonight, delivered it at the trailer, and a lot of that was headed to Arizona. So hi, everyone in Arizona.
Is there a reason for that, or is this just like a weird offshoot?
I believe it was family, a family member or someone that they knew, and it just grew into this group of people that are following Johnny.
That's cool.
Now.
That's really cool. One car scratched from this heat. It's the 14 of Eric Gledhill, did not make the call for heat race number 2 here. So green flag waving on heat 2 for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint cars, and the aforementioned Johnny Miller will lead the field off of corner number 4 here on lap number 1, but he's got company coming.
And Jacob Dykstra in that 5D, he's itching for a win here tonight, as he has not been able to find one in recent weeks, but here he is in that 2nd spot. Blaine Barrow running much better than what happened to him last week. He's up there in that 3rd spot trying to hold off Brad Heron.
Heron showing to the inside of Barrow's number 3B, and Brad Heron will get the spot off of corner number 2. Barrow trying to come back at him on that top lane off of corner number 4. Doesn't quite have enough to get it done as Heron slides up in front of him here at the start-finish line. Now, Barrow's going to go to the inside in corner number 1, but Heron takes that line away and will drive off with about 5 car lengths of advantage down the back chute.
Stand by, will be the cross flags. 4 in, 4 to go for your leader, Johnny Miller, the Iceman, out in front over Jacob Dykstra, Brad Heron, Blaine Barrow, and Shane Stickle. He's got that car looking all pretty again, but he's under pressure here, and he's going to lose the transfer spot.
Terry Baker jumps up into the 5th position, shuffling that 39 of Stickle back to the 6th spot. Paul Klager with an uncharacteristically less than stellar run going here. Started in the 5th spot, was in a transfer spot at the drop of the green flag, has fallen back to 7th. Now coming back up on those runners, Terry Baker and Shane Stickle. He's got 2 more laps to try and get it done as Johnny Miller passes under Cameron Thompson's popsicle stick here at the flag stand.
2 laps left to go for the Iceman over Dykstra and Heron. Heron's closing the gap a little bit on Dykstra for that runner-up position. Barrow solidly back there in 4th. And then you've got the 26 machine right behind him. So it's Stickle and Klager right now, the closest to attacking for that final transfer spot. But they're on the outside.
Outside looking in for sure with less than a lap to go. Johnny Miller brings it off of corner number 4. Checkered flag wave. Drive out of Six Nations, Ontario. Johnny Miller picks up the win in heat race number 2. Jacob Dykstra in 2nd. Brad Heron in 3rd. Blaine Barrow 4th. And Terry Baker grabs the final transfer spot to tonight's A feature. Shane Stickle, Paul Klager, Rob Neely, and Spencer Davis will go to the B main here this evening. And Greg, Adam and I talked a little bit about this last week. We are down to just 1 driver remaining who has qualified qualified and started every A feature this season with the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint cars, and that is Lucas Smith. is the remaining driver in the number 49L. He's set to come out here in heat race number 3. Jesse Costa has also qualified for all 10 features so far this year, but was unable to start the first feature of the year due to mechanical problems. So Lucas Smith's the only driver to have competed in all 10 features so far this season.
Just before we go to the lineup here, want to give a shout out. Blaine Barrow qualifies through the qualifying heat right there. That's got to feel good after the hard crash on the front stretch last week. He wanted us to give a shout out to Rich's Drywall and Framing and Jesse Little and Adam Murphy for their help in the shop all week getting that car back together, but especially to Rich's Drywall and Framing for the financial support to get him back out. That's got to feel really good to transfer through the qualifying heat after the rough week they've had.
Always good to have a bounce back effort. Heat race number 3 on track now. Here's how they'll line up. Starting on the pole out of Ohsweken in car number 69 is Joshua Hill. Outside him, the current point leader out of St. Thomas, Ontario, the number 52 of Jesse Costa. Third starter out of Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanakoke, and to his outside, the 29W out of Woodstock is Tyler Ward. Fifth starter out of Vanessa, Ontario, the number 4 of Hannah Farrell, and to her outside out of Hagersville, the 49H of Jerry Hill. Seventh starter out of Brantford, the 49L is Lucas Smith, and outside of him in row number 4 out of Kitchener, Ontario, the number 2 of Travis Hofstetter, and shotgun on the field from the 9th starting spot, the number 70 of Bailey Hurd. 9 cars, 8 laps the distance. Once again, 5 more cars transferring to tonight's 20-lap A feature for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crete Sprint cars. Green flag in the right hand of starter Cameron Thompson. We are underway and 3 wide before they got to the flag stand.
Well, that was a little crazy on the start of that one. Jesse Costa, the point leader, says, I want out of this beehive, and he squirts away into corner 3.
Good move for him in that number 52 machine, jumping out to an early advantage. Brian Nanakoke following suit in that number 9C, and on the move, the number 4 of Hannah Farrell to the outside, looking for the 3rd spot, working past that number 69 machine of Josh Hill. She moves up to the 3rd spot as we race into turn 3.
Working it off of corner 4, Jesse Costa, formerly known as the Heat Race Ace. He's since conquered a few A mains, but he is making it look easy here right now as he leads over Hannah Farrell. Brian Nanakoke, Josh Hill back there with a solid 4th place run. The battle right now is for that transfer spot.
Yeah, a couple of cars battling it out for that 5th and final transfer spot right now. Currently belongs to 29W of Tyler Ward, rookie driver out of Woodstock, Ontario. And just as we said that, the 49L of Lucas Smith got by him and Jerry Hill in corner number 1. He moves into the transfer spot now.
Trying to keep the streak alive. Cross flags, 4 in, 4 to go. Jesse Costa leading over the 4 of Hannah Farrell, Brian Nanakoke in 3rd, and then that's where things get busy. Josh Hill and Lucas Smith right there going at it 4th and 5th, and a bit of a distance now back to the 6th place car. So Lucas Smith just trying to hold on. Whoa! Off of corner 4, Tyler Ward trying to get into a transfer spot, got pretty sideways.
Yeah, it looked like he got on the gas maybe a little bit early coming off of corner number 4. Cost him a little bit of time, but not too much though, as Hill and Smith seem to be quite concerned with trying to get around each other here as they battle for that 4th position with 2 laps to go.
Costa leads it into corner number 3, this time behind the white flag as they cross the stripe. Costa leads over Farrell. And then a good distance back to Brian Nanakoke, and the battle's still on for 4th. Lucas Smith wants it. He doesn't know who's behind him. He doesn't know that he's got a bit of a cushion for the final transfer spot, so he'll take 4th away. Checkers out, Costa gets the win.
Jesse Costa picking up the win. Hannah Farrell, the Hurricane, comes home in the 2nd spot. 3rd goes to 9C of Brian Nanakoke, Lucas Smith in 4th, and Josh Hill in 5th. That means that Tyler Ward, Jerry Hill, Travis Hofstetter, and Bailey Hurd will have to try and qualify through to the feature through the B main here this evening. But Lucas Smith qualified into his 11th straight feature this season. Jesse Costa also through to the main event, so setting up another good points battle here tonight. Those top 2 drivers in the standings both qualified into tonight's A feature.
Don't forget to be here next Friday night. Jibs Action Sports presents one of our biggest nights of the year. It's the Canadian National Autism Foundation Night, the kids race program that they bring once a year, our major event. They come earlier in the year as well, but this is the big event that they have next week. Autograph session at intermission as well, so be here 7:30 start time, Ohswekenspeedway.com for all the information. And make sure you join us for kids race night and a chance to meet your favorite drivers down trackside.
Trackside for now is heat race number 4 for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crete Sprint cars, and starting on the pole out of Ohsweken, Ontario, the number 38 of Derek Miller. Going off 2nd in car number 51 at Ancaster, that is Trevor Young. Third starter out of Hamilton, the number 56 of Derek Lemaire. Fourth starter comes out of Freelton, Ontario, the Dirt and Motorsports number 43 of Darren Dryden. And lining up in the fifth spot out of Caledonia, Ontario, the number 88 of Jesse McDonald. Outside him, his teammate out of Hagersville, Ontario, the number 14T rookie driver Noel Teal. And going off the seventh spot out of Kitchener, the 50 LS, that is Adrian Staley. Eighth starter comes out of Waterloo, Ontario, the 19D of Alan Downey. And going off ninth, last week's winner out of Mount Bridges, Ontario, the number 45 is Nick Sheridan. 9 starters, 5 more drivers set to qualify into tonight's A feature. Everybody else goes through the B main, where there are 4 more spots available in total. The Victory Games number 38 of Derek Miller on the pole. The Hallett Home Improvement number 51 of Trevor Young to his outside. That's the front row for this 4th and final heat race for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars. Keep an eye on that number 45 of Nick Sheridan, who obviously got a bad draw tonight. Starts at the rear of the field. We'll see if he can transfer through the front door tonight into tonight's A feature. Green flag waves were underway.
Little less exciting of a start than the previous qualifying heat, but here they are, still the pack racing down the backstretch 2 by 2 in corner 3.
And 3 wide in the middle of corner number 3 as Darren Dryden got out of the throttle after he nearly got together with Derek Lemaire, loses a couple of positions. The Glen Stars racing teammates Noel Teal and Jesse McDonald both get by him, and from the back up to 6th there in lap number 1, Nick Sheridan, that number 45.
And I don't think I would want to draw into this heat. This is a tough one to transfer through here tonight. Derek Miller, Trevor Young at the front, going at it tooth and nail, and digging on the bottom. It's Derek Lemaire. Well, they fought it out. He snuck by for the lead.
Lemaire right down on the bottom side of the racetrack, took that race lead away in corner number 2, trying to distance himself this time off of corner number 4. Trevor Young's worked himself up into the second spot there. Lemaire pulls away by about 3 car lengths into corner number 1, but his one's far from over.
Derek Lemaire out in front of that Burger Barn Ohsweken Construction number 56 out of the Hills, J Hill Racing team. For the Burger Barn group, Derek doing a nice job. He's had his struggles this year, but this has to be a good feel for him to be out in front and have a comfortable size lead.
Jesse McDonald with a good move to get by the 38 of Derek Miller, moves him up into the 3rd spot. Now coming after Trevor Young for the 2nd position. That number 88 machine, good run going in this qualifying heat race. Sat back a little bit early, waited for his opportunities. Now he works to the inside of Trevor Young's number 51. They're wing to wing into corner number 3 for 2nd.
Derek Lemaire sees the signal that it's 2 laps left to go, and behind him they are still going at it. Trevor Young looking down the inside of Jesse McDonald. Young in that Hallett Home Improvement 51, trying to catch Jesse McDonald, who's already got a feature win this year. White flag is out. The battle's still on.
Last time around that battle for the 2nd spot, Derek Lemaire is checked out in front of the field. Full straightaway advantage for the number 56 machine. Jesse McDonald capitalizing on that battle for the 2nd spot. Checkered flag waves. Race number 4 goes to Derek Lemaire. Jesse McDonald comes home 2nd. Trevor Young in 3rd. Nick Sheridan in 4th. And Derek Miller takes the final transfer spot. In the 5th position, Noel Teal, Adrian Staley, Alan Downey, and Darren Dryden will have to go to the B main here tonight. So your Heat 4 winner comes out of Hamilton, Ontario. The driver of the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction Aitken Motors number 56 is Derek Lemaire.
Well, guys, I'll jump in here with our first Case IH track report of the night. The track looks absolutely amazing. Jordan, Glenn, and the crew have done a fantastic job. You can see it is hard packed all the way up to the top. No big chunks, no big ripples. We're going to have a fantastic track here tonight, guys. And what a run for young Nick Sheridan, our Gales Auto Aftermarket Performer of the Week. Went from tail to 6th in that one, or tail to a qualified spot, past 6 cars in the running for the Top Gun Award from Ackland Insurance. Quickly, while we got a break, guys, want to welcome Gail Hill here from Gales Auto Aftermarket, one of our longtime supporters. He kicked up a bunch of money for the Thunderstocks coming up in 2 weeks, and tonight said he wants to do a 1,000 to win mini stock race on the 30th. So more to come, guys. Thanks, Gail, for all you do. That's it from trackside. Back to you for another round of crate qualifying.
Oh, we're right into the 360s now as we bring out the first of 3 qualifying heats for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Going from the pole in heat race number 1 out of Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms number 91, it's Ryan Turner. Alongside him in the Hills Tire and Gas car number Little Ben 110 from Brantford, it's Jake Brown. Going from 3rd In the Case IH, Renway Energy 68, that is Aaron Turkey from Ohsweken, going from 4th out of Mississauga in the Carstar Brantford 17X. The highlight man, Mac to Man, going from 5th from Charing Cross. In the ERW Contracting 9B, it's Scott Burke. And from the 6th spot out of Caister Center, the Charlie B. Honey. Car number 11, that'll be Jamie Turner, going from 7th from Carlisle. In the Nitro 54 variety number 9, that's Steve Lyons alongside him from Dorchester. And the Case IH number 1, Holly Porter, and going from the 9th and final spot in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction 55, Mikey Bobby. Mike Thorne from Caledonia, ready to go. 8 laps will be the distance. The first of 3 qualifying heat for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core-Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Everybody gets out on the noise pedal into corner number 1. Ryan Turner leads the field down the back straightaway. Jake Brown, the little bend, 110, moving into the 2nd spot. But here comes the highlight man, Mac to Man, off of corner number 4. He turns it to the inside, looking for the 2nd spot here on lap number 2.
Brown way up high in corner 1, a little higher than I think he wanted to be, but man, he got a launch off of corner 2.
Found a little extra moisture there when he got up over the cushion in corner number 2. Did the same thing at corner number 3. Not quite as fortunate with the result there. Mac DeMan goes to his preferred lineup on the top side of the racetrack here in heat race number 1. Moves into that 2nd spot for the moment. Ryan Turner continues to lead in the Kingpin Farms number 91 here with 3 laps down.
Trailing him, Mac DeMan, the 17X, they're all going up top. Jake Brown right behind him. The first car on the bottom is Aaron Turkey in 4th, and his teammate Holly Porter also chugging along down there at the bottom in position number 5.
Jamie Turner and Holly Porter battling a little bit for position there. Turner trying to track down the Ohsweken Speedway Rochester Nighthawk sponsored number 1 as they work off of corner number 2. Back half of this 8-lap qualifying race. Ryan Turner puts lap number 5 in the books. He and Mac DeMan pulling away from the rest of the field. DeMan trying to track him down for the race lead, about 10 car lengths of distance as they separate into corner number 3.
2 laps left to go for Ryan Turner, but Mac DeMan beginning to reel him in just a little bit. He can see him, he can sniff him, he can smell him as they go down off of corner number 2. Can he catch him and pass him? That's the question. Here comes the dive bomb down the corner, inside of corner 3.
DeMan thought about the slide job for a moment, but decided to try and make it stick in the bottom. Turner knows that DeMan likes the top side of the racetrack. He's continuing to run that line here in the final lap, and DeMan bobbles it off of corner number 2. Final 2 corners here. Mac DeMan will have to make something happen. Not going to be enough. Ryan Turner wins heat race number 1.
Good battle for the 3rd spot at the line. It's going to be Aaron Turkey getting that one away from Jake Brown. Holly Porter 5th. 6th will be Jamie Turner. 7th, Steve Lyons. 8th will be Mike Thorne. 9th will be Scott Burke. So your winner of heat race number 1, the Kingpin Farms, Aiken Motors, number 91, Ryan Turner out of Dunnville, Ontario. Mac DeMan 2nd. Aaron Turkey with a nice pass to give by Jake Brown for that 3rd position at the line. So the first of 3 qualifying heats complete for our 360 sprint car division. Cole McDonald just tuned in online. Where are you tonight, Cole? I don't see your name in the lineup. Heat race number 2 going from the pole in the original Trader Energy. Car number 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook, the point leader out of Scotland, Ontario. Going from position number 2 in the Case IH car number 0, that'll be the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen out of Fenwick. Going from position number 3, the Jason's Enterprises, number 46, Kevin Pauls out of Caister Center, and alongside him from the 4th position in the Total Rentals 87, Sean Evans out of Scotland. Starting 5th from Alden, New York, in the Fireworks Composite. Car number 49K, the straight shooter, Scott Kruder, and alongside going from 6th out of St. Williams in the 21, John Burbridge Jr. in the Gales Auto Aftermarket Machine. Going 7th in the G&J Contracting, number 81 from Lewiston, New York, Derek Jonathan. And going from position number 8 out of Grimsby in car number 90, it'll be Travis Cunningham. 2nd qualifying heat set to come out onto the speedway here in just a moment.
Well, guys, a bit of a drama over there in the pits. Aaron Turkey just rolled across 3rd, but drove past the scale house, has been disqualified for not going to the scales. So he turned around and came back, but once you drive past the tech barn, you are disqualified. Tough break for Turkey. Small mistake, going to cost him big in the starting lineup for tonight's 360 feature, guys.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not a way to start your night. And like Clint said, that's going to put them in a big predicament starting-wise. And that makes a big difference on a track like this here tonight.
Well, he started third in that heat, went backwards a little bit and worked his way back to third. So he would have been par there for passing points and probably would have been in a decent starting spot. But that's gonna be tough for the 68 team.
So tonight, a little bit of a different look for Jim Hoopinen, who had been running the traditional Bradshaw Brothers white and orange car. Now he's got the Case IH panels on that from Linton Jeffrey when he was here racing the 0J in the Northern Summer Nationals. So the black and orange look here tonight for Jim Hoopinen, who's been phenomenal since taking over this Zero machine here in 2019.
Green flag and Dylan Westbrook and Scott Gruder both shot out of a cannon there. Jim Hoopinen coming after Westbrook for the race lead. Thought about the slide job, but not enough room to get it done. Westbrook leads lap one.
P-Dubs leads him into corner number one around the outside line. Jim Hoopinen trying to keep pace with him, but he gives up real estate to Scott Gruder, who's right there. He makes the move in corner number three, slides up in front. Hoopinen looks low, but Gruder at the line will have second.
Gruder had that fence come up on him a little bit quicker than he probably would have liked off of corner number four. Kept his momentum up though, holds on to the second spot. Over Hoopinen in the number 0. Sean Evans in the 87X run for, and Hoopinen up over the track and into the hay bales in turn 3.
So that should bring out the caution flag.
First caution flag of the night.
I believe they were trying to take that lap there with Jim safely out of the way. I did not see what started that, but you can see the damage on the tail tank there on the on our screens here.
It went in definitely with the back end first. And Hoopinen was just all on his own. I think he just got into turn number 3, got up into that loose turd up over that little bit of a cushion that's there out of the racing groove, and just the car took off and just slid that car straight into the hay bales, and luckily hit it with the rear end first, which hopefully means that if it's a little bit of damage to the tail tank, that hopefully means that all the bolt-on stuff towards the front end of the car will be in decent enough shape. We'll see what Clinton has. He's down there on the scene.
Well, he's got a bar rubbing here on the left rear, and you're right, he has backed the tank right into the fence, so it has pushed this. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's pushed the push bar here. It's piercing into the left rear tire. So this push bar and the tank here problem for Hoopinen is going to be the issue. Yeah, it is rubbing. He cannot race with that.
So, Steyer's team's having some struggles here tonight, as we mentioned Aaron Turkey's problems there, missing the scales, and now this crash for Jim Hoopinen. We'll get a watch on the replay here, and yep, just hopped over the berm there, and boom, into the bales.
And Corey Turner talked a little bit about that when he had his flip in almost an identical spot there during the Northern Summer Nationals. The little bit of that event that I did catch was some of the heat races on night number 1 there, and Corey talked about if you get over that cushion in just the wrong way, the right front can catch that loose dirt and you just lose control of the car. You have no ability to correct and oversteer that car. And just really a tough break there. It seemed like something similar for Jim Hoopinen in that number 0.
Tell you, it's up live and personal if you're watching online. Nice legs,
when we said
Sean.
we offered a front row view, I don't think that's what we were going for.
We'll put you in our seats.
So Dylan Westbrook is the race leader in the 47X as he sees the white flag from Cameron Thompson. We'll go back to green with 3 laps completed. Scott Kruder runs in the second spot, then the 87X of Sean Evans runs in the third position for the moment. John Burbridge Jr. holding down the fourth spot at the moment, then Derek Jonathan, the 81, runs fifth. Travis Cunningham in the number 90 runs in the sixth spot, and Kevin Pauls holding on to seventh right now in car number 46.
Did get a reply from Cole McDonald as to why he's watching online. He's at home, said the motor is junk, hoping to have a new one by the Nationals. So we hope you do as well, Cole.
Yeah.
Coming back to the green flag. Single file pass, 3-start cone. And Dylan Westbrook, boy, he is good on restarts.
Absolutely got the better of Scott Kruder there as Westbrook drove down the banking, and Kruder was not prepared for that. Took a much different line out of corner number 4 that time, and Westbrook will come back. And caution flag on the speedway. Somebody looks like they hit the cone. That, or quite literally, somebody didn't hold on to the rope. Yeah, race director Doug Leonard letting a driver know he hit the cone. Couldn't quite hear who that was.
John Burbridge Jr., guys, at 21, hit the cone on the front straightaway. Or is that senior tonight?
Junior.
Junior, yeah, so John Burbridge Jr. took out the cone down on the front straightaway there. He will have to go back 2 spots for that.
It's been a while since I've seen somebody actually hit it.
I've still been asking if we could get a camera on that, but I'd have to pay for
That'd be a heck of a speed shot.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
You want a wireless shot or just a GoPro?
Okay, we'd probably have to have a new one every week.
Glenn likes cool angles. Maybe we can talk him into that.
I mean, even if it didn't get hit, it gets pulled away every time, so.
If we can get a camera on Sean's leg, why can't we have one on that?
We'll work on it for you guys.
Back to the green. Let's see if Coca survives this trip. There we go. And that's why you don't hold on the rope until all the cars are gone by.
And a much better restart there for Scott Kruder that time. I was quite happy to see that start called back as he comes after Westbrook in corner number 4. Nearly got to him there. Not enough to get the job done, though, as we've reached the halfway point of this 8-lap qualifying heat race, and Kruder all over the back of Westbrook 47X.
Back into corner 3 they go. Oh, he blocks the move on the inside. Does D-Dubs now skates up the track in front of Kruder, blocking every lane. Kruder down to the inside.
Slide job in corners 1 and 2. Scott Kruder the race lead. Westbrook turns it underneath, coming back at him in corner 3 and 4. See if he can return the favor. No, Kruder takes it away at the bottom of turn 3, and Westbrook a little out of shape there. Scott Kruder leads lap number 6.
But here comes D-Dubs back at the bottom. Oh, he muscles his way down to the inside of corner number 1. Kruder gets a little bit too high and loses a ton of real estate.
Kruder got up over the cushion there a little bit in corners 1 and 2 as Westbrook, as you said, muscled his way back to the race lead. White flag here, 7 down, 1 to go. Dylan Westbrook leads off turn 2.
Kruder trying to do anything he can to catch the leaders. They go through 3 and 4. One last chance at 3 won't be enough. Checkers out. D-Dubs picks up the win over Scott Kruder. Coming home in the 3rd spot will be Sean Evans. 4th will be Travis Cunningham. Good solid run for him. 5th will be Derek Jonathan. 6th, John Burbridge Jr. 7th will be Kevin Pauls in the 46.
And Greg, we should maybe briefly explain why that battle for the lead, and you may be sitting there going, this is just a heat race. Why are these guys racing so hard? That battle actually meant a lot. For Dylan Westbrook, he started on the pole, so with our passing point system, you have to finish in the top 5 in your heat to qualify into the feature. Doesn't matter tonight because we only have 25 360 sprint cars, so everybody's going to qualify in. But Westbrook's got to finish first in order to gain as many passing points as he can by starting on the pole. Conversely, Kruder started in 5th spot, so if he can get 1 spot further from 2nd to 1st, that makes a lot of difference. Going 5th to 1st in a heat race pretty well guarantees that Kruder would have been our top gun tonight and probably would have given him the first shot at the pill draw.
Yeah, that's why they're going at it. Plus, you know Scott Kruder, we've heard it in his voice. They're so close to the 47X, but just haven't been able to beat him straight up. And you know they don't care if it's a heat race or a practice. If I can get the better of Dylan Westbrook, that's what you're going to try and do.
First place is first place.
Heat race number 3 of 3 for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars onto the Speedway, going from the pole out of Bedford, Ontario. In the Jennifer Hatch, Coldwell Banker, car number 5D. That is Shane Ross alongside the Nitro 54, number 15 from Ohsweken. It's Dan Nanaco. Going from third out of Thamesford in the Vipond Eller car 45, it's Curtis Gartley alongside in the Brown Auto Service CarQuest Auto Parts number 10, downtown Mitch Brown. Starting in position number 5 out of Beamsville. In the Parts Source, number 88H, but he did not make the call. We saw him with problems in the hot lap session. It was scheduled to be Josh Hansen. Oh, there he is, headed to the pit area once again. And Corey Turner lines up in the 6th starting position in the Burger Barn H1 Construction Mobile 1, car number 13. We've got Sean Slider in the DVC Contracting 71S out of Port Colborne. And the 7, good to have him back tonight from London. And the Pinewood Horticulture, number 7, that is Caleb Wood. And Caleb, Clayton, you and I had a chance to go and talk to him. He says it's funny, you don't care as much at this point of the season what your car looks like, and he doesn't have it all decaled up, but he's back, and that's what matters.
Just happy to be back on the loud pedal here this evening. Shane Ross right down to the bottom of the speedway as we took the green flag there. Dan Nanacoke skates up the racetrack. Mitch Brown goes through. He'll move to the 2nd spot here on lap number 1.
Nanacoke, though, keeping pace right there in that 3rd spot. Here comes Corey Turner trying to work by Curtis Gartley, get himself inside the top 4 and chase down the leaders.
Corey Turner started in the 6th spot, moving his way up to 4th here on lap number 1, but Mitch Brown trying to wrestle that lead away from Shane Ross in the 5D off of corner number 4. You've got a new leader. It's Mitch Brown, car number 10.
Yeah, downtown Mitch Brown. Both of the Brown brothers have really turned up the wick here in the last month. And you talked about that. Jake Brown will win a couple weeks back, Brighton Speedway with the Southern Ontario Sprints, and now here's Mitch Brown out in front. He looked racy during the Northern Summer Nationals. Fair to say, Mitch is back.
Looking awfully good in that CarQuest sponsored number 10 machine. Troubles for the 71S of Sean Slider. He gets turned around the bottom of corner number 4. Caution flag flies with 3 laps completed.
And that zoom in there reminds me, it's the Goleta Flooring 71S now. It's no longer the DVC car.
All right.
Well, guys, down here for Sean Slider, don't see many problems. Car looks all right. They're just going to get him turned around and push him off. He'll be ready to go.
This will be a good restart for both Shane Ross and Corey Turner. Shane will want this restart to get another shot back at Mitch Brown. He had drifted a little ways back there. And we're seeing the replay now, and Sean Slider got turned around all on his own and just about collected Curtis Gartley in the mix as well. Curtis with a great move to steer that car right and out of harm's way. That could have been ugly for Curtis Gartley as he was staring right into the left side of Sean Slider's number 71S. But back to the conversation about the restart. Corey Turner started back in the 4th spot, or pardon me, in the 6th spot for the initial start. Had to work his way up to 3rd now and sees that gap close and will have a shot at least to move up a couple of positions here on that restart. So it'll be a restart that the number 13 will be looking forward to, and same for the 5D of Shane Ross.
50-50 so far at $400. So flag down one of the sellers in the pink shirts and get in on tonight's 50-50 draw. Don't forget, the Ice Mobile open for business behind the announce tower. I took pleasure
We
in
both
some ice
sampled.
cream.
We sampled.
Well, you came up the stairs first with one by yourself.
Right.
And I thought the guest was supposed to bring the regular, but I guess because you filled in for me last week.
That makes you the guest?
You did your part.
Well, see, you said I should have brought you an ice cream, but you have one just about every week, and you've literally never brought me one. So I didn't I didn't think that was like a thing. If it's a thing, then
now Spencer, our producer, is wondering where his ice cream is.
he's not allowed off the buttons after we got Sean's leg. He's stuck there. We're not allowing him out for an ice cream break.
Careful, he can shut us off.
He can. Why hasn't he yet?
Also, the Western Survivor beef jerky table is down there. They brought me some of this Shremska dry sausage fingers. They're my favorite. They're Greg's Choice. That's what it's called on the menu.
No, you don't. To the Western Survivor, you don't have a name. You're just McLean's dad.
McLean's dad. I heard that. Green flag is out as Mitch Brown and Shane Ross right now out in front, but Corey Turner looking to get his way into the top 2.
Turner had to back out of the throttle there in the corner number 3. That opened up the door for Dan Nanacoke to try and come back up. Turner for that 3rd position. Turner around the bottom. Nanacoke finding a little bit of horsepower up on the top side of that number 15. Now he goes to the bottom. They switch lanes into corner number 3. Turner coming after Shane Ross for second.
Good battle there. Second, third, and fourth. Got to be impressed with Dan Nanakoke, who's really been solid here in the last while. He's getting a handle on these sprint cars, and right in front of him, Corey Turner gets by Shane Ross just a little bit. Ross, though, fighting back at the inside.
Side by side at the start-finish line there with 2 laps to go. Corey Turner and Shane Ross. Turner gets the better of him off of corner number 2, moves up into that runner-up position. White flag waving though for Mitch Brown in car number 10.
Downtown Mitch Brown has one more lap to go in the CarQuest Auto Parts. Brown Auto Service number 10 as he leads it down the backstretch over Corey Turner, Shane Ross, Dan Nanakoke, Caleb Wood, and then Sean Slater and Curtis Gartley. Checkers out for Mitch Brown.
The CarQuest Brown Auto Service number 10 will pick up the checker flag here in heat race number 3. Corey Turner takes home the second spot. The 5D of Shane Ross goes in the 3rd position. The 15 of Dan Nanakoke 4th. Caleb Wood comes home 5th in the number 7 machine. The 71S of Sean Slater in 6th. And the 45 of Curtis Gartley comes home 7th, and scored in the 8th spot was the number 88H of Josh Hansen.
Just been told the 50-50 guaranteed now at $750. So definitely need to get your tickets for that here tonight, as we are ready with the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock division with their qualifying heats. Ron Parker, following on Facebook, asked if we can give a shout out to Lucas Parkins, 9 years old, watching his first race ever. Hope you're enjoying it, Lucas. Get addicted to this racing. Watch us every Friday night if you can.
Set to go with heat race number 1 for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock. Starting on the pole at Hamilton, car number 43 is Kyle Andrus. Outside of him at a Brantford, the 13 of Casey Huffman. Lining up in 3rd out of Brantford as well, the number 1 of Chris Dickey, and outside of him in car number 40 is Derek Liverance. 5th starter in car number 38 is Frank Turkey, and in the 6th starting spot in car number 41, it's Adam Plazik. 7th starter in car number 11 is Go Fast People, the number 8 starting spot, the number 14 of Johnny Lowenberg, and the 9th starter in car number 37, that is Rob Hoskins. It's like somebody didn't make the call. 8 starters. Everybody will qualify to tonight's A feature. Going green off of corner number 4 with Kyle Anderson, Derek Liverance on the front row. It was the 13 of Casey Huffman, I believe, did not make the call for this one.
So down the backstretch they go with Dickey and Liverance, 1 and 2, and then the pack all behind them is Teeple on the bottom, side by side with Adam Plazik, and then they were 3 wide behind them. Johnny Lowenberg on the outside line in that Ford-powered number 14 machine. Dickey remains out in front as they work it down off corner 2. Kyle Andrus now spin it around in corner 2, but will stay green as he'll get it back going the right direction.
And wasted no time refiring the number 43 machine. Look at Chris Dickey right up on the top side of the racetrack in that number 1 machine. And here comes Adam Plazik with a good run in that number 41 car, using that same outside lane right now. 3 wide for second. Go Fast People on the bottom. Derek Liverance in the middle. Adam Plazik up top. He emerges with the 2nd spot.
Chris Dickey out in front over Adam Plazik, and then you've got Go Fast People there in 3rd, and 3 wide behind him as Hoskins stacked up on the outside line trying to get a run.
Here comes the 37 of Rob Hoskins on the outside, trying to take the 3rd spot away from Go Fast People here as they work off of corner number 4. He's got it at the start-finish line. 4 down, 4 to go. We're halfway home in this Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock first qualifying heat race. And just about around in corner number 2 was Frank Turkey Jr.
Side by side now for the 2nd spot. Rob Hoskins down to the inside of Adam Plazik as we work across the line to complete lap number 5. 3 to go. Hoskins to the 2nd spot. Plazik right there on the outside line. All the while, Chris Dickey having a good run, and he needs it. He's had a rough patch here in the middle part of the season. It's good to see that number 1 machine out in front.
Rob Hoskins has found something in this second half of this qualifying heat race, now trying to contend with Chris Dickey for the race leader. Just as I said that, he's off the pace in that number 37 machine. Didn't quite seem like he was up to speed. Definitely slowing in that number 37 car here off of corner number 2.
And he'll pull it into the infield on the backstretch. So that leaves it at Chris Dickey and Adam Plazik out in front. Go Fast Teeple back there in the third spot. White flag is out one more time around in this first qualifying heat for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division.
Top two drivers right up around the outside, but the third place runner, Go Fast Teeple, a little bit more through the middle as Plazik got up out of the racing groove there. That's going to allow Teeple to move back into the mix in the number 11 machine as they race off of corner number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag's going to wave for Chris Dickey, and second spot's going to barely go to Adam Plazik in the 41. He just holds off Go Fast Teeple for the second spot. Johnny Lowenberg in the 14 finishes in third, and the number 40 of Derek Liverance rounds out the top 5.
Again, next Friday night, autograph night. So if you want to meet your favorite driver, you join us next Friday, 7:30 start time, brought to you by Jibs Action Sports. It's the kids race night in support of the Canadian National Autism Foundation. Ohswekenspeedway.com for all the info.
Heat race number 2, rolling trackside now for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. On the pole at Caledonia, the 21X of Mark Bassine. Outside him, the 6Rs, Jeff Roloffs. Third starter at a Caser Center, the 28 of Jim Lampman. And going off in the 4th spot at a Canfield, the 32 of Mark Fawcett. Fifth starters at a Guelph, Ontario, the 79 machine of Christopher Hale. And beside him in row number 3 at a Simcoe, the number 4 of Aaron Rowitsky. Seventh starter in car number 25 is Ken Sargent. And going off 8th at a Caser Center in the 28D, it is Donnie Lampman. 8 more cars for 8 more laps. Heat race number 2 for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Everybody's qualified into tonight's feature. 25 cars in attendance here tonight. Racing for handicap starting position. Green flag waves here on heat race number 2.
Clean and green down into corner number 1 with Bazzine and Roloffs out there. Roloffs drops back, is on the inside. It's Jim Lampman taking the second spot. The outside line gets a surge there off of corner 2 with Mark Fawcett leading the charge in that orange 32. Here he is, all of the back bumper. Jeff Roloffs off of corner 4.
Roloffs with a good move around the outside of Jim Lampman, who looked like he pushed that car through the middle of corner number 3. Fawcett right up around the top side there, 4 wide there for a moment for the 4th position. And now Roloffs and Christopher Hale going to battle it out for second.
Mark Bazzine out in front in that Burger Barn. Ace 1 Construction 21X. Good to see him running strongly in that machine. I know they've had some struggles this year. Had Jason Fontaine run the car a few times, and Mark out in front, and he's a very good driver. Just been trying to work the bugs out in that machine.
Jeff Roloffs was sinking like a stone there in that 6R machine. Not sure if he just got out of the groove. There's actually problems on that car. He went from the 3rd position all the way to the rear off of turn number 2 last time. Seems to have it back up to speed. We'll keep an eye on him. They work off of corner number 2. It's still Mark Bazzine in front of the field. Ken Sargent runs second. Christopher Hale third. Mark Fawcett and Jim Lampman make up the top 5 for the moment.
Cross flags in the air. 4 in, 4 to go for Mark Bazzine of Ken Sargent, Chris Hale, Mark Fawcett, and Jim Lampman, your top 5. Donnie Lampman right there digging on the inside of the 28 of Jim Lampman. And then you've got Aaron Rowitsky back there behind them.
Father and son battling for the 5th spot here in corner number 3. Donnie Lampman on the bottom in the Monte Carlo. Jim Lampman in the Camaro up on the top side. The 28 and the 28D machine as they work through corners 1 and 2. This time trying to track down Mark Fawcett, who got a little bit loose. Could have a 3-car battle for the 4th spot here before this one's over.
2 laps left to go for Mark Bazzine, Ken Sargent, Chris Hale, and Mark Fawcett. And then you've got that Lampman battle back behind them. The second qualifying heat for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division.
White flag waves for Mark Bazzine, the Burger Barn number 21X machine. The 25 of Ken Sargent holding on to that second spot about 15 car lengths back as they run down the back straightaway for the final time. Then Christopher Hale comfortably in the 3rd spot, but it's the 32 of Mark Fawcett trying to hold off Donnie Lampman for 4th as the checkered flag waves for the race leader.
Yeah, Mark Bazzine's going to pick up the win, and I'm sure, although it's a heat race, that felt really good for him with the struggles they've had with that car this year. He'll pick up the win in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction 21X over Ken Sargent, Christopher Hale. And Mark Fawcett crosses the line in the 4th spot, and Jim Lampman comes home in the 5th position.
Final heat race of the night. 3rd and final qualifying heat race for these Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Lines up like this on the pole at Jerseyville, Ontario. Car number 53 is Logan Schwedick. Outside him at Hagersville, the number 8 of Ryan Dinning. Lining up third, the current point leader, also at Hagersville, the number 49. It's Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey. Outside him, currently sitting second in the point standings in car number 23 is Trevor DeVore. The 5th starter in the 84K out of Victoria is Ryan Viegel. 6th starter out of Six Nations, the A1 of Spencer General Thomas. Kathleen Lampman goes from the 7th starting spot in the 28K. And Lee Winger in car number 2. A nice fresh look for him. He goes from the 8th spot out of Caledonia. 8 cars, 8 laps to distance, 3rd and final qualifying heat race for these Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock drivers. Getting set to roll off of turn number 4. Green flag waves, we are underway.
Down into corner number 1 they go with Schwedick and Dinning on that front row. Bailey in the 49 machine, all the heavy hitters, top point getters in this qualifying heat. As they work it through 3 and 4, Schwedick will lead the pack across the stripe to complete lap number 1.
And there's a battle we've seen 100 and some times before. Ryan Dinning and Dave Bailey going at it for the 2nd spot. Now Bailey turns it underneath Schwedick. Nope, the hole closes up and Dinning's to the inside of the 53 machine. A little beating and banging going on there in turn 3.
Ryan Dinning, whoa, that car got upset in corner 4, and that caused him to get up into Logan Schwedick. As they cross the stripe, now it's Dave Bailey on the bottom side taking the lead away. Schwedick to 2nd. Dinning got shuffled back there into the 3rd position with Trevor DeBoer on his back bumper.
Yeah, Trevor DeBoer is watching all this unfold in front of him, just hoping that everybody keeps their head cool and he's not going to get collected, or perhaps he can slip by. If they do, all get tangled together as the number 23 machine goes to the bottom side. Thought about trying to get underneath the number 8 of Ryan Dinning. And there's Ryan Beagle's number 84 RK in the mix as well. 5 cars breaking away from the rest of the field, all battling up front for position.
Caution flag out.
Believe Spencer General Thomas might have got turned around in that A1 machine. Just refired it in time, but caution flag was necessary there, and perhaps some debris on the front straightaway.
Sorry, all I can think about is steak when I see the A1 car.
We should get a steak sandwich here.
That's all we talk about is food. And Adam's not even here. We tease him.
Yeah.
Sure, he's enjoying some poutine. Some poutin.
Our poutine?
Now that we've just offended an entire province.
Don't get me started. I went to school in Ottawa. I ate enough poutine while I was there. As you can tell, I don't hide it very well.
The curds went straight to your belly.
Exactly. 3 down, 5 to go. Heat race at number 3. Logan Schwedick, the point man. We get set to come back to green. The black and green number 53 hits the lob pedal back up to speed. And we're side by side racing into corner number 1.
I wear a belt so it doesn't go to my hips.
There you go.
Back underway, and Spencer General Thomas back around in corner number 2. As the cross flags are coming out, and we'll stay green. A good battle up in front. Kind of a preview of what we may see in the feature with all these heavy hitters out there.
Yeah, lots of fast cars in this one as they continue to race 3 wide here off of corner number 2. Now Ryan Dinning gets the advantage in the number 8 machine with Dave Bailey and Logan Schwedick to his outside. And Dinning having a bit of a trouble getting through corner number 3. That allows Dave Bailey to drive to the inside. They're 3 wide again for the race lead. And Schwedick still all kinds of momentum up top.
3 wide at the front. Bailey on the bottom. Dinning in the middle. And here comes Schwedick on the outside. It'll be 2 laps to go, this time by the flag stand in our final qualifying heat of the evening.
Popsicle sticks up here, and this one still being contested at the front of the field with Ryan Dinning just a nose ahead of Dave Bailey's number 49 with Logan Schwedek pulling even here down the back straightaway. Side by side for the second spot with Dinning just about a car length ahead for the race lead as they race to the white flag. One more trip around, 3/8 of a mile to go.
Into corner one they go. Dinning trying to hold on for the heat race win, but here comes Bailey. He's so smooth on that inside line, and if you open up just enough space, he'll slip by, but instead he'll work to the outside line through corner 4, trying to get a run. Coming to the checkered flags at the line. Ryan Dinning will hold off over Bailey and Schwedek. Trevor DeBoer will come home in the 4th spot. Ryan Beagle 5th, and Lee Winger will grab 6th. Kathleen Lampman around in corner number 4.
She's hung up on the blocks there.
Yes, she is.
The right rear bumper there is hung up on one of those orange concrete blocks.
That's ironic what it says on her back bumper. Life's too short to look back. Yeah, well, don't look back right now. You're hooked on the wall. Kathleen Turner gets it off the wall, or Lampman rather. Gets it off the wall.
I think there might be some issues on the front end of that car. Hard to tell.
Someone on YouTube asking, is this Canada? Canada, yeah. Yeah, it's Canada, yeah. We are in the Great White North.
We race cars here, eh?
Got to get him inside, eh, before the snow starts flying, hoser. Were you here the night I called some Australian guy a hoser online?
I think I was.
Ready to go with the mini stocks with their last chance qualifier. Want to give a big shout out, happy birthday, Tina Stiers. Don't want to miss that. As soon as I saw that pop up on Facebook this morning, it's like, don't forget, it's Tina's birthday. Happy birthday, Tina. I hope you're here tonight, enjoying a night of the races. Congratulations on hitting the big 2-0. Always go under with females.
You can't go wrong there.
You can't go wrong.
Was sure you were headed for retirement there, Greg, with that statement.
Oh, well. My son started announcing last night, so I figured the days are numbered anyway.
I hope they had a good time. I got a lot of good comments about Caitlin and McLean last night, and people were hungry for the micros. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was impressed by how many people tuned in, and that'll be a regular thing on Thursday nights. I'm on generator patrol on Thursday nights now. I've been relegated out of the announce booth. 3 wide to start this last chance qualifier for the mini stocks. As Thorne in the 10 grabbed the lead.
265 of Mike Evers trying to come back at him here. Running in that second spot, then Daniel McKay holding on to third in the number 13 at the moment. The 16J of Jeremy May holding on to fourth here. Or the 3-car battle for that 4th spot as they race off of corner number 2.
Wade Thorne out in front in that Buckwald Racing number 10. Mike Evers back in second. Daniel McKay was so close in that qualifying heat to making it straight to the A main, but he'll try and get it done here in the B.
Still Wade Thorne out in front of the field in that number 10 machine. Mike Evers holds on to the second spot in the 265. And then Daniel McKay continues to race in that third spot. Paul Longload has had a couple of wins taken away from him in heat race and preliminary competition this year when that car couldn't quite make weight. So we'll see if he can get in through the front door. And Mike Evers a little off the pace in that 265.
2 laps left to go for Thorne. Over Daniel McKay in the 13M. Paul Longboat back there in spot 3, and he's got pressure behind us. Serentakos and Evers mounting a charge. What I believe is the transfer battle back there. White flag out.
Final trip around the park here for Wade Thorne in that number 10 machine. Our other infield reporter, Dale Callan, mentioning that Thorne blew the motor on his number 46 machine, so borrowing that number 10 car from the Buckwalds to stay in the points race here, as he will do just that as he takes the checkered flag on the B main. Wade Thorne picks up the win over Daniel McKay, Mike Evers, Mike Sarantakos, and the 188 of Paul Longboat, the top 5.
Yeah, just to follow up on that story about Wade Thorne, he was out on Facebook last night, said they worked hard to work on some frame and suspension issues on his regular 46 car, only to drive it up the driveway and test it out to realize they were down on a cylinder. A compression test showed that they were down a cylinder and made it not even worth bringing the car out tonight, so we got on the phone and borrowed this one. We'll see how it plays out now these in the A feature, guys.
Oh, Jimbo on YouTube. You are a good follow. Wow.
We can't read what he said, but we can say we agree with what he said.
Oh, my. We should not be allowed to read comments while announcing. Crates, B-main number 1 of 2 here tonight. Ready in the chute there, getting pushed off.
2 9-car B mains for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint cars this evening. Top 2 finishers in each race will qualify to tonight's A feature. On the pole of B main number 1 out of Brampton, Ontario, the 70 M&M of Dave McKnight Jr. Outside him out of Binbrook, Ontario, the number 29 of Liam Martin. Starting third out of Kitchener, the 39 of Shane Stickle, ended fourth out of Hagersville, the 49H of Jerry Hill. Fifth starter, the 1A of the Beamsville Bullet, Paul Klager, and going off sixth out of Waterloo, the 19D of Alan Downey. Inside row number 4 to Niagara Falls, Ontario, the number 70 of Bailey Hurd. Outside him out of Scotland, Ontario, the 83 of Spencer Davis. And scheduled to go shotgun on the field in car at number 69K is Jason Dixon. Does not look like he will make the call. Remember, he had that problem in the heat race where it looked like the right rear tire went down at the very least, but appears the issue may have been a little more significant than just a sneaker down. So Jason Dixon will not make the call for this one. So 8 cars for 2 starting spots in tonight's A feature.
Liam Martin right in the thick of the points battle. So is Paul Klager, and they both find themselves here in this B main. But that's the amazing thing with this division. This isn't anything out of the normal. We see it every week, and sometimes some of these drivers just don't transfer.
Well, we said only one driver has qualified and started every single race. So it tells you right there that not everybody can make it in. There's always a couple of good cars on the trailer early every night.
You know, and Adam brought that point up early in the year. He wanted to see how many drivers could do that, and I always think he's crazy, but I thought he was really crazy on that. I thought, no, there's going to be a large amount of drivers that... he was right. I cannot believe that we've only had one driver that has qualified and started every A main so far this year. That's impressive. Tells you how good these fields are every week. Green is out.
Incredible parity across the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Green flag waving here off of corner number 2. Liam Martin and Dave McKnight Jr. not backing down from this fight up front, trying to put a little distance between them and the rest of the field. Martin leads lap number 1 by half a car length at the start-finish line.
Down in corner 1 they go. Martin leads over McKnight, and Jerry Hill back there in position 3. Shane Stickle, who's got that car all lettered up again and looking sharp, riding back in spot number 4. He'll work to the outside of Hill.
MSD Machine Tool sponsored number 39 machine working around that outside group, but Jerry Hill comes back at him on the bottom. Here comes the Beamsville Bullet. Paul Klager looking for a spot as well, and Dave McKnight Jr. under siege for that final transfer spot.
Martin out in front on lap number 3 of this one. 7 laps left to go, and he is pulling away from the pack. Paul Klager is on his horse, though, trying to get up there, trying to make it 3 wide and 3. He'll do it. He squeezes Hill into the middle. Stickle goes around the outside, so put Hill back a couple of spots.
Yeah, Jerry Hill with a tough break there, goes from 3rd to 5th. Halfway through this B main number 1. We're coming to the halfway point, pardon me. 5 down, 5 to go for Liam Martin. Dave McKnight Jr. holding the final transfer spot in the number 70 M&M machine. And Paul Klager coming after him here. That lead, or that advantage shrunk down to about 3 car lengths here. They race into corner number 3, and Klager's alongside McKnight coming off of turn number 4.
Yeah, good battle there for that second spot. Good run for McKnight, but Paul Klager, the dirt track veteran, now gets into the second position with that Schneider Electric Lucas Oil car number 1A, as McKnight's right there in the tail tank, not going away just yet.
Klager did not look very good in his heat race, has obviously made some adjustments to that Schneider Electric J&E Recovery 1A machine, and has gone from 5th to 2nd in this B main, looking to try and transfer through to tonight's A feature and maintain a spot in the top 5. And now caution flag waving. Alan Downey turned around in corner number 2. Greg, I know we've talked a lot about Alan Downey this year and such a cool story, but it's almost one worth mentioning again this week in case we've got any first-time viewers, and it appears we do tonight. But a driver that got his start in racing by running online iRacing in the and eventually emerged with this number 19D sprint car this year. Decided to take it from the computer to the real world, and really has seen quite a bit of improvement over the course of the season, and it's been really fun to watch.
He has at no time been just out of control and looked like he didn't belong out there, and that's the thing that impressed me. Some drivers get out there and they're a little bit leery, but he got out there right out of the gate, and not to say he was competing for top positions right away, but to do that, to go from a video game to the real thing and look as calm, cool, and collected as he has, very impressive for Alan Downey. So yeah, that's a story that you don't get tired of hearing from Alan Downey, and it was cool when Adam took the time to take Christopher Bell over and say, hey, here's a guy that's iRacing, and he just moved right into sprint cars.
Back to green here on lap number 7, 3 laps to go in this B main. Liam Martin, the race leader, Paul Klager coming after those two drivers breaking away. Those only the top 2 will transfer to tonight's A feature. Now Klager to the inside of Martin. Martin takes the lane away. 2 laps to go now.
2 more trips around for Liam Martin. Paul Klager back there in the second spot. Dave McKnight Jr., maybe the best run he's had so far here in 2019, trying to reel in Klager one more time.
McKnight realizing he's going to have to go where Klager isn't right now. That's up top. Running that 70 M&M right up over the cushion a little bit there in corners 1 and 2. Kept up the momentum. Last chance down here in corners 3 and 4. Liam Martin brings it off the bottom to the checkered flag. He will win B main number 1 and transfer to tonight's A feature with Paul Klager. Everybody else will put it on the trailer early. Dave McKnight, Jerry Hill, Shane Stickle, Bailey Hurd, Alan Downey, and Spencer Davis all failed to qualify for tonight's A main.
Folks tuned in online asking the question, is it a MAV TV Canada night? No, it is not. So we'll bring you the entirety of our racing program right here live on Facebook and YouTube. August 31st is our next MAV TV Canada event, and then we will broadcast the Saturday night of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals as well. So those will conclude our 6 races with MAV TV Canada. Our final 2 to go.
I like when the little voice in my head has all the answers.
I need one of these at home.
Yeah.
Don't say that to your wife.
Set to go with B main number 2 for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars. They'll roll off in this order on the pole at Hagersville. A rookie driver in car number 14T, it's Noel Teal. Outside her, a fellow rookie at a Woodstock, the 29W of Tyler Ward. Lining up in the 3rd spot at a Kitchener, Ontario, the 50 LS of Adrian Staley. 4th starter at a Rockwood, Ontario, the number 74 of Rob Neely. And going off 5th out of Kitchener, the number 2 of Travis Hofstetter. Outside row number 3 at a Greenville, Arizona. In the 4B, it is Rick Schumann. 7th starter at a Hagersville, the MK8 of Matthew Hill. Lining up 8th out of Freelton in the 43, it's Darren Dryden. And scheduled to go from 9th out of Thamesford, the 14 of Eric Gledhill. Looks like Gledhill will not make the call again here for this B main. Didn't make it out for his heat race either, so I'm not too sure what the issues are on the 14. Bar Motorsports number 14. And 1/3 of the Bar Motorsports team is already qualified in. The Hurricane Hannah Farrell made it in through her heat race. Rick Schumann trying to become the 2nd car in that black and orange Oakwood Transport sponsored number 4B. Couple rookies on the front row. Noel Teal, the 14T. Tyler Ward in the 29W. Again, 10 laps the distance with just the top two transferring to tonight's A feature. Creeping and crawling to the chalk line in corner number 4. Green flag is out. We are underway.
Final 2 spots in the crate sprint car feature event are on the line, and Rob Neely got all sorts of sideways, but keeps it going straight, keeps the foot in the pedal.
The perfect example of not being able to win it on the first lap, but can pretty much take yourself out on the first corner there. Rob Neely's going to have his work cut out for him. And a couple of drivers got pushed up the racetrack a little bit there. Schumann in the 4B, Darren Dryden and Travis Hofstetter all got moved up the racetrack there in corners 1 and 2 as Adrian Staley works around the outside of Tyler Ward and moves into a transfer spot.
There's Noel Teal out in front over Adrian Staley. Those right now the transfer cars. And finally, turn 2 does it to Rob Neely. He keeps a foot in the gas and still going. Oh, yes, he gets it straightened out.
Wow, Spencer just had a great replay there of Neely the first time he got out of shape and then did it again there in corner number 2. Tough break for Rob Neely in that number 74. Good close-up there of Noel Teal's number 14. Saw her going to work off of corner number 2. Good drive for the rookie here, looking quite comfortable in front of the field. She leads here through 4 of 10 laps in B main number 2.
Very solid run for Noel Teal in front. Good for her in that Enrium Dynamics number 14 machine. She's had a couple of good runs earlier that ended in a spin, so hopefully she can hold on. She's halfway there to a main ticket. Second place, Adrian Staley, but here comes Darren Dryden in the DJD Graphics number 43 of the Durden Motorsports stable. They're in third, tracking down the 50.
Dryden seemingly out of nowhere came from the 8th starting spot in this B, worked up to the 3rd position and coming after Staley. Two drivers that know each other well from their Can-Am midget days on the asphalt, going at it here in this crate sprint car B main. There'll be 3 laps to go this time by. Noel Teal with a comfortable straightaway advantage over Adrian Staley, but his advantage evaporating, and Dryden is right there in corners 1 and 2. Races up in the top groove. Staley on the bottom off of corner number 2, down the back straightaway. Battle for the final transfer spot into corner number 3. They'll come to 2 laps to go this time.
Good battle. Darren Dryden has a spot at the line while Noel Teal out in front checking out on the field. Here comes Dryden back down the hill in corner 2. Shoots by Staley. He has second. Staley fighting, digging, trying to make his way to the A main. The caution flag comes out.
And just soon enough, where Adrian Staley, who's beat on the second and final transfer spot, was evaporating quite quickly. It looks like Dryden got by him before the caution flag waved. So Staley will have his work cut out for him on this green-white checkered restart.
Fran tuning in again from Ransomville Speedway. Hi, Fran.
That's multitasking at its finest.
Is that like working at Walmart, shopping at Target?
It's kind of cheating. Kind of cheating on a Ransomville by watching us.
We're glad that you're watching us. We won't tell your bosses.
They have a great concession stand at Ransomville. Fresh cut fries. I'm a big fresh cut fry guy.
I can tell.
Yes. Like if I have to choose between like different types of French fries, I'm taking like the one that they just like smashed the potato and then deep fried it. Like that's the best kind. So Darren Dryden did in fact make that pass for second prior to the yellow flag, so he will restart in that final transfer spot. It'll be a green-white checkered finish to be main number 2.
They're not a sponsor of the track, but I got to give a shout out. I've lived in Brantford now since 2003, and only until about a year and a half ago did I learn about this place called Stan's Fries. It's in the plaza where the Toys R Us Zares are in Brantford. It's been there and I've seen it, but someone said you got to go there, it's the best, and it is no lie, the best.
All right,
so there's
noted.
a free plug to Stan's, so next time I'm
Noted.
there, I better get a free fry out of that. Now I'm hungry.
Small though.
Go get me some pinties.
Just
would
a small.
you? Just a small. What's small?
Yeah, we don't do small.
That's sample size.
Yeah.
Back to the green flag, single file, and Noel Teal trying to hold on 2 more laps, but the pack is right there on her tail tank.
Adrian Staley tried to get to the inside of Darren Dryden's number 43 there in corner number 2. Going to try it again in corner number 3. 3 cars for 2 transfer spots here on the final lap.
Well, Teal staying steady on the inside lane. Can she make it work to pick up the win? Darren Dryden's got second, coming to the checkered flag. Teal slowed down a little bit.
Off of corner number 4, final time. Checkered flag's going to wave. Darren Dryden takes the win. Noel Teal will settle for second, but that'll transfer to tonight's A feature. Adrian Staley, Rob Neely, Travis Hofstetter, Tyler Ward, Matthew Hill, and Rick Schumann all going home early here tonight. Great race for Darren Dryden, 8th to the win in the B main.
Jeff Durnan, I'm sure, enjoying that one. The Durnan Motorsports owner of that car, number 43, racing with Darren Dryden here in 2019. Coming a long distance to pick up the win in the B main. And Jeff shared a photo today from, I think it was 6 years ago, when he and his kids were sitting in the stands and he heard it announced the Great Sprints were going to be starting up as a division here at Ohsweken Speedway. And next thing you know, they've got a car and been racing here ever since.
Yeah, one of the original teams in this great sprint car division. The 43 team started with his son Kyle racing that car. And it is the exact same car. It's the same chassis. It's I believe it's a 2001 J&J chassis that they've dubbed Old Rosie. Been around for quite some time. So started with his son Kyle, had Ryan Hunsinger in the car for a couple of years, and now they've got Darren Dryden making his foray into dirt racing here after a successful career with the Can-Am Midgets. Still races with the Can-Am Midgets on a full-time basis. Still got our 50-50 sellers going through the stands with those pink t-shirts, so grab yourself some 50-50 tickets. We'll make that draw.
We're going to head down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, where Clinton Jeffrey has our Top Gun Award winners, brought to you by Ackland Insurance.
Thanks a lot, guys. Standing by with, first off, Davey Boughton. Davey, up and down season for you. I mean, you're a latecomer to the year, but what a run for you tonight. You got to be super impressed to be back here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane as our Ackland Top Gun Award winner this evening.
This is like a feature win for me, honestly. I know Gail's in house here tonight. I just want to send a big special thank you out to Gail. If it wasn't for his help last year after I crashed at the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, I wouldn't be here. Also, I need to thank Jake Langlois of Jake's Sprint Car News. He's also a huge help to me and why I'm standing here right now. Setup help, parts. That's why I'm running the 1C right now. And just got to thank all my other sponsors for getting me here. LCT, the stable.ca. I actually got it written down here so I don't forget, or I will forget. Joanna McKean, Bruce Young, and I got to give a special shout out to my crew, Ryan Wallace, my girlfriend Andrea, and my buddy Mac, who's here tonight.
Super cool, David, to have these people get behind you and help you get your deal going. We talked at length about how Jake saw your interview at the Canadian Sprint Cars Nationals last year and just liked how you handled yourself, jumped on, got connected through us, and then got you some parts. And all these guys coming on to help what you're considered probably waving the flag for the low buck teams out there for you to get a win up here and not necessarily win, but to pick up the Top Gun Award winner gives everybody hope back there. Talk about that.
Well, like, this is like a win for me. And when I say I am low budget, I am talking low budget. I do everything I possibly can just to get that car to the track on Friday nights. I live and breathe to be here. This is the best track that you could be in North America. I have to thank all the fans, and I have to give a special shout out to Nathan Auckland. He's the reason why I'm standing up here for this award right now. He gives the extra money. He supports the 360s and all the crate guys so much, and it's just a big help for all of us low budget, smaller teams.
I've watched you mature a lot over the years, Davey. Congrats. Enjoy this.
Well, I got to give a special shout out to you, Clint, because you've been a big help to me, just getting my stuff figured out and being more professional at the track and stuff like that, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
You've done a great job. How about it for one of the low buck guys out here getting it done week in and week out, Davey Boughton, ladies and gentlemen. We'll turn it back up to Greg and Clayton. Oh, no, here comes our other Top Gun Award winner, Mitch Brown. Mitch, jump in here with us. Mitch, a great night when you can start by taking Nathan's money, $100. That means you're really good in the heat. Have you got it figured out for the feature?
I guess we'll find out in, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. But, yeah, it was decent there, and it's cool to pass some cars.
Talk about the track tonight. Looks like they've nailed it. It's pretty slick out there, but no big ruts, no big bumps. It's smooth top to bottom. Where are we going to see this 10 tonight, downtown or up on the top?
Yeah, it's got 2 lanes here. It's going to be interesting. Both are tricky to run, so just have to see where it goes.
There you have it. Both of our Ackland Top Gun Award winners. Mitch Brown picks up $100, and Davey Boughton will also grab $100. Back to you guys as we get set to continue intermission.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Coming up this month at Ohsweken Speedway. Next Friday, August 9th, Renway Energy presents Christmas in August, featuring a full card of action, and adults who bring a new unwrapped gift get in for just $5. Friday, August 16th, Jibs Action Sports presents Autograph Night, and Halloween in August, kids in costumes get in for free. Come and trick or treat the front straightaway while you meet the drivers up close at intermission. And August 23rd, Gale's Auto Aftermarket presents Gale's Cash Blast 50, a $2,000 to win 50 lapper for the Thunderstocks. For more information on this week's action and everything coming up this season, log on to OhswekenSpeedway.com.
Back live on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Greg Kelman. With me is Clayton Johns, and trackside was Clinton Jeffrey, talking with our Top Gun Award winners as we continue on here on Renway Energy Night. It's Christmas in August. I haven't seen Santa Claus yet.
No, haven't.
But
we had the full list of inflatable Christmas lawn ornaments, though, tonight.
Yes.
They were pretty cool.
We did see that, including Santa Claus. I believe he was showing his underpants down the main entryway, I think is what he was doing or something. It was interesting, to say the least. But, yeah, Christmas in August here. Not too long before Christmas is here, and we'll be shoveling snow. I can't wait, Clayton.
Why would you say that? Why bring it up? I'm quite happy to brush the dust off my car at the end of a Friday night, much more than I am
the snow.
Yeah, brushing the snow off my car at 6:30 in the morning on my way to a hockey rink.
All right, we've got our fan appreciation numbers here. We'll get those out quickly, and if you have any of these numbers, go down to the main entryway to claim your prize. First up, adult ticket 52934. Adult ticket 52934. Senior youth ticket 54287. 54287. Children's ticket 52939. 52939. Season pass 011680. 011680. And the Christmas special for the adult senior 56345. 56345. If you have any of those fan appreciation numbers, go down to the main entryway to claim your prize in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'll read those out one more time quick. Adult ticket 52934. Senior youth ticket 54287. Children's ticket 52939. Season pass 011680. And the Christmas adult senior 56345.
Mitch Brown pulled the outside of the front row, and Mac Demand starts outside of row number 2. So 4 full-time heavy hitters starting in the top 4 here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I saw Scott Kruder on the pole, and with Dylan right behind him, you know it's going to get busy really fast right off the drop of the green flag. And these guys are chomping at the bit because it's been since July 23rd that we've had an A main here for 360s. They had the week off last Friday night, and so they're ready to go here tonight. They will be the third feature up tonight.
Yeah, mini stocks, crate sprint cars, 360s, and Thunderstocks is the order for the features here tonight.
So mini stocks just getting lined up and ready as we're getting close to the conclusion of our brief intermission here. So it'll be mini stocks, crates, 360s, Thunderstocks. And that will conclude tonight's racing program, brought to you by Renway Energy, the official fuel and lubricant supplier of Ohsweken Speedway. If you need some heating and air conditioning needs at your house, call Renway Energy, located in Brantford, and they'll be there to help you.
Well, guys, just want to make a quick mention about Gail Hill from Gail's Auto Aftermarket. You heard Davey Bout and a lot of the other drivers talk about Gail and everything he's contributed. Gail's with us here tonight, so Gail, thank you for so much for coming out tonight. We love everything you do for the track, the drivers, and everybody here at Ohsweken. Now, Gail called me this week, guys, and he wants to do a big mini stock race. As you know, we've got the Cash Blast 2,000 to win race coming up for the Thunderstocks on August 23rd. He wants to do a 25-lap mini stock race on the same night. We pushed it back a week just to save some time. So the 30th will be a 25-lap Gail's Cash Blast race for the mini stocks, paying another $1,000 to win, $750 for second, $500 for third, and so on down the line. So Gail, thanks so much, pumping a lot of money into the Thunderstocks and mini stocks this season, and we love you, Gail, for it. That's Gail's Auto Aftermarket out on 4th Line. If you get a chance, go down and check them out, guys.
That's awesome, Greg.
That it is. Gail never ceases to amaze. He just continues to support. He supports the races here, always adding to the purses, and there are a ton of race cars out here that have that Gail's Auto Aftermarket sticker on their car. It's amazing the support that Gail gives to this speedway and its competitors, so we thank Gail for all that he does. HRW Automotive Mini Stocks ready to go. Cody Somerville lines up on the pole, the 517 to his outside, the 11 of Mike Guyverson. Row number 2 to the inside, the 11E, that'll be Jeff Elslager, and Aiden Nye will go from 4th in the 88. Tim Jamison, the 177, starts in 5th. 6 will be Steve Miller in the 79. Christopher French rolls off 7th in the 54, and Trevor 1 from the outside of row 4 in the 19T. Row 5 on the inside, Jason Tolton in car 1, alongside him Kyle Ward in the 19. Row 6 made up of Jonathan Ayrton in the 21, the 96 of Brian Crosgrove. Cole Hardy and Fabio Oliveri back there in row number 7 in the 7C and the 16. Ryan Hiller, Tim DeMore make up row number 8, the 21H, and car number 9. Back in row 9. Dusty DeMore, Tristan De Silva, Tim Newell, Chris Reitman, Wade Thorne, Daniel McCain, Mike Evers, Mike Sirentakos, Paul Longboat, John Cote, and a huge pileup on the front stretch as Jason Tolton gets gathered up.
Jason Tolton, the unlucky recipient of a tangle there between Steve Miller and Christopher French. And I think a lot of that was because Mike Guyverson off the front row did not get a great start. Number 11 car was not quite up to speed, and everybody tried to filter to the bottom side of the speedway and work past the outside pole sitter. And as you can see, a couple of drivers did not fare so well. Left rear tire down at minimum on the 54 of Christopher French. Perhaps some problems with the rear end on it, hard to tell. Jason Tolton with all kinds of cosmetic damage. He's already taken that number 1 machine. I thought he took it to the pit area. He's rolling down the front straightaway. And a bit of a replay here from our turn 2 camera. And it looks like Miller just got out of shape there and came across the racetrack. Not sure if he was trying to avoid somebody, but he was definitely the first car to kind of come across.
So he will continue on and join the tail of the field here. No laps complete. And our first feature of the night, this is the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, and probably been a long week of getting ready for this one because they're hot off their longest race of the year, the Art Hill Memorial. 42 laps is a long night of racing for these 4-cylinder cars, and I'm sure every inch of these race cars were gone over this week to prepare to get back to a regular distance race.
Yeah, well, when you exert the car for essentially 3 times as long as it's used to, then you want to make sure that you do your regular maintenance and then some. Make sure everything is up to snuff and nothing got overlooked over the course of the week or overrun during that extra distance race. So yeah, it's hard to tell. There might have been a bit of contact there. I'm not sure who the car behind Steve Miller was, but looked like he might got turned a little bit there. You saw the replay again. It was tough to tell.
Well, guys, Tolton being told to take the one car to the pits with that major front end damage. He can return, but will need to get the bumper up out of his line of sight.
Oh, here's another replay, and yeah, it looks like Kyle Wirt might have touched the back of the 79 of Steve Miller there.
Was it the...
Pardon me, Trevor Warren. Sorry.
Yeah. To me, it almost looked as though Steve might have come down into, but it's...
Yeah, it looked like Want might have touched him just a little bit. Nothing intentional, but I got him just a little bit. I get my Wants and my Wirts mixed up. They have the same number, and they have almost identical names.
I get my Wheres and my Wers mixed up.
Yeah, that too.
My 2s and my 2s and my 2s.
Yeah.
Not to say I wear a tutu. Do you see what Adam's done to me? I used to be normal.
This has been Hooked on Phonics with Greg and Clayton.
You weren't here the night that he gave us the dictionary.
I did.
I
don't know if I was here that night, but I heard that one.
Everybody heard that one.
Yeah. I think after that night, Webster's might have taken the word right out. Said, never mind. I don't even remember what the word was. I remember the second half of the word, but I don't remember the first half. We'll leave it at that.
All right, Christopher French makes it back out in time. Double Green's back in the air. Cody Somerville will lead them down the front stretch, and Mike Giverson loses a handful of positions going into one. 3 wide for the lead, and here comes Kyle Wirt, the point leader on his horse on the outside line, up to second, trailing 8-9 in the 88.
8-9 with a heat race win in that number 88 machine. Looking good here to lead lap number 1, but here comes the number 19 of Kyle Wirt in the mix as well. Running in third, Tim Jamieson. That 177 machine, top 3 cars breaking away from the rest of the field because it's an absolute beehive behind there.
Side by side for that top position, 8 and 9, and the 19 of Kyle Wirt. That Eccles Auto Service number 19. 8 and 9 will lead the lap as they go down into corner number 1. 2 on the board. 13 to go in our first feature of the night.
Greg, you know we have a good racetrack when the mini stocks prefer the outside line and they can keep it wound up with all kinds of momentum, nice and smooth, and that's the line that 8 and 9 is running so far with Trevor Want trying to, see Kyle Wirt trying to stick with him in that number 19 machine. Had it the nose to the inside a couple times now, falling back in line. Tim Jamieson running in third, but Ryan Hiller on the move in that 21H machine. Car around to the top of corner number 2. That is Chris Reichman, I believe.
Yep, Chris Reichman around. In the Hell at Home Improvement number 93. For those watching at home, just to let you know, the scoring pylon at the top, this is our feature event, the A main, not the B main 2. That was quick. Spencer's on the ball.
Sometimes I think we should be able to just patch him in and have him on.
Be more interesting than us.
Yeah.
It's 12 to go in this HRW Automotive Mini Stock Feature event.
Guys, I'm not sure if you caught it, but Rob Twitchett reporting an electrical fire under the dash in his heat race has taken him out for the night. It's a tough break for the 69 of Twitchett. Crew able to take care of that, but that is the reason 69 did not come out for the B main.
He did pull off kind of suddenly in his heat race there at one point while battling in a transfer spot, so perhaps he kind of maybe saw it starting, but then he did refire the car, so either way, glad that that was dealt with without too much of an issue. Field being told to double up by our race director, Doug Leonard. Set to come back to green here in 1 lap's time. 3 down, 12 to go with his 15-lap A feature for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. 8 and 9, your leader in car number 88. Kyle Wirt to his outside, the current division point leader in that number 19 machine. Already has 4 wins on the year, looking for number 5 here tonight. Tim Jamieson, the 177. Ryan Hiller, who had a great run going last week in the Art Hill Memorial before a flat tire took him out of the running. In all likelihood would have, at the very least, been in contention for the win. Was leading at one point before that tire gave way. So we'll keep an eye on that 21H, see if he can get it done tonight. Jeff Elsliger rounding out the top 5 as we get set to come back to green in that number 11E.
Back at it. Green is out. And Kyle Wirt will shoot out in front of the top 3. And things got close there as Wirt nearly got tapped by the 177 of Tim Jamieson, who slid up the track. Now it's 3 wide behind the leader.
3 wide for that second spot. Aiden Nye got shuffled out of the race lead, but now trying to come back. Ryan Hiller for the second spot. Tristan De Silva in the mix as well. 3-4 cars battling for third now to race into corner number 1. Aiden Nye in the middle of Tim Jamieson, Tristan De Silva, Dusty DeBoer, Tim DeBoer right there as well.
Good pack of racing there as Aiden Nye, and now the caution flag is back out.
Sounds like some debris on the front straight. Oh yeah, big piece of a bumper here. That is right in the spot of the racetrack that we have difficulty seeing.
Ah, yes, there it is.
But there's a big piece of bumper there.
Well, 2 situations on the go there. Of course, the white plastic bumper that the officials were all right with. They were going to let it go, but then you see them over there picking up a bar from the middle of the group, and that is not something they could race with, had to go yellow. So went through 1 lap, then the bar appeared, so they threw the yellow and will slow this one down. Track is in immaculate shape tonight, guys. As you mentioned, the mini stocks rolling the top side. I cruised around intermission. I didn't see one hole anywhere out there. Fantastic work by Glenn Jordan and the entire track crew to get it beautiful this week for Renway night here. Thanks everybody for coming out. Don't forget 50-50 tickets still available. Minimum $750 will be the winner's take tonight.
Kyle Wirt leads over Ryan Hiller, Aiden Nye, Tim Jamieson, and Tristan De Silva, your top 5. Dusty and Tim DeBoer back there in 6th and 7th. 8th right now, Jeff Elsliger in the 11E. 9th, Wade Thorne in the Buchwald Racing number 10, and Cole Hardy. Once again, another solid performance. That's why he's in the top 10 in points this year. He's had some ups and downs literally here at Ohsweken in 2019, but he's solidly in the top 10.
Did they not pretty well destroy that car almost one night earlier this year?
Well, he did the lawn dart spike here on the front.
That's right, yeah.
The car is still a little crooked, I think, to look at from there, but they did a nice job getting it back and didn't miss a race.
You know, it's funny, Greg, you talk about how much money is spent on race car chassis and on all that, and, at the higher levels, maybe not so much in mini stocks, but sometimes they get hit and they get bent in just the right way, and it somehow makes the car better sometimes. It's always funny how that works.
Back to the green flag. As Kyle Wirt, now Ryan Hiller. Restart on that front row. Wirt on the outside line. Hiller on the bottom, stacked 3 deep behind them. As now they're going to try, well, I thought they're going to go 4 wide. Dusty DeBoer had a head of steam there.
Looked like it for a minute.
Tim Jamieson having a really good night up there in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, that 177 machine holding down 3rd for the moment, but here comes Dusty DeBoer. Oh, that could have been bad. He came off the nose, the 88 of Aiden Nye, and made contact with the right door of Tristan De Silva's number 01 machine. Everybody kept it pointed in the right direction. Dusty DeBoer now back up battling Tim Jamieson for 3rd, and De Silva holds on to 5th.
Single file amongst the top 5 right now. 8 and 9, Tim DeBoer. That's where the battle is at right now. Tim DeBoer came into tonight 2nd place in points. Problem is, he's trailing the guy who's leading the race right now, so he's not doing himself any favors where he is right now. He's got to get up there and battle with that 19 of Kyle Wirt, who had a rough patch there. I know he had some problems in the Summer Nationals.
Yeah, the rule of thumb in the point standings is that every position is worth about 4 points. So for every spot that Tim DeBoer finishes behind that number 19 of Kyle Wirt. He's going to drop 4 points in the standings, and not a gap that he can afford to lose this deep into the 2019 season as we come to the halfway point. 8 down, 7 to go for Kyle Wirt into number 19. Not distancing himself at all from Ryan Hiller's number 21H as he continues to lurk right there and now showing the nose to the inside left rear quarter panel at number 19.
A good battle behind that as Dusty DeBoer looks to the inside of Tim Jamieson. Here's the battle for the lead. Out in front, Kyle Wirt, but Ryan Hiller, the rookie driver with Cobra Trucking, number 21H, is right there on the back bumper as they go down into corner number 1. Hiller running a line just a little bit lower than Wirt. Wirt's got it wound up on the top sideline. The top 2 broken away from DeBoer, Jamieson, and De Silva, the rest of the top 5.
Field sorting itself out, single file most of the way around the speedway. 5 laps remain here in this 15-lap feature for the HRW Automotive Mini Stock. Still Kyle Wirt in control, 2 car lengths his advantage over Ryan Hiller as they reach the middle point of the back straightaway, now into corner number 3. Dusty DeBoer runs in that 3rd spot. Now Tim DeBoer working to the outside of Tristan De Silva for the 4th position. Tim Jamieson right there as well, and all of a sudden it's a 3-car battle for 4th.
So it's Wirt and Hiller still broken away, and Hiller not as close as he once was in that battle for the top spot, but he's staying right there with Kyle Wirt within striking distance. Now Dusty DeBoer kind of on an island there in the 3rd position, and a 3-car battle, 4th, 5th, and 6th with Jamieson again. Very solid run. De Silva and Tim DeBoer all right there.
Still trying to see what kind of ground Ryan Hiller can make up. Might have showed his hand a little too early there on lap number 9 when he drove to the inside of Kyle Wirt and made a bid for the race lead. See what he can get done with 2 laps to go. Lead growing a little bit. Looks like about 3 car lengths that time by. Tim Jamieson still holding on to that 4th position in the 177 machine. Tristan De Silva, Tim DeBoer still right there, the 0-1 and the number 9. And right behind them, a 3-wide battle. That would be for 8th, 8 and 9 in the middle of Cole Hardy, and I believe that's the number 10 of Wade Thorne on the outside.
White flag out for the leaders. Yeah, good battle back there, about mid-pack right there. 8 and 9, Trevor Want and Wade Thorne. But as they work it down the backstretch the final time, Kyle Wirt leads the point leader, looking to pad his lead into the stretch drive for the championship. Double checkers out from Cameron Thompson. Kyle Wirt picks up another win over Ryan Hiller, Dusty DeBoer. And then it's going to be Tim Jamieson, 4th great run for him, and Tristan De Silva will cap out the top 5 here for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Win number 5 on the season for the driver of the Eccles Auto Service. Car number 19, Kyle Wirt, driver of Ancaster, Ontario. Runner-up spot for rookie driver Ryan Hiller. And Dusty DeBoer came into tonight 3rd in points. He'll come home 3rd. Down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky. The official firework provider of the Ohsweken Speedway over on Highway 54 in Middleport. Check them out for your fireworks needs as we get ready to send it down into Victory Lane as Kyle Wirt unbuckles. And he has got the coolest racing suit going today. By far. If you're a farmer or a mechanic, you'll appreciate this one as Kyle Wirt gets ready to climb out of the car here on Renway Energy Night. Kyle Wirt climbs out. He's got the checkered flag. Let's hear it for your winner. And we'll be delayed, I believe, down in Victory Lane as Clinton Jeffrey maybe on the search for a microphone. You got it? All right, everybody, boo Clinton Jeffrey. He lost his microphone. You got one, Clint? All right.
You got me? All right. Kyle, congratulations, man. Another solid run for you. Does this ever get old?
No, it's pretty fun. But hats off to these guys. These give me a good run. I know Dusty started pretty far back, so hardest charger to me is the winner, so good for him.
Talk about the track tonight. It looked really good for you, Mini Stocks. You could put this car anywhere you need it to be tonight.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. We've been running at the end of the night after some big nights, so we've been fighting what's a bit slicker, so I like this, so it worked out pretty good. So, yeah, I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Eccles Auto Service, Wellington Brewery, Gales Auto Aftermarket. He's helped me out a bunch over the last few years, and Junkyard Jord. He's in the stands today, so we're having a good time.
Good job. There it is. Kyle Wirt, the point leader, picks up another feature win, guys. We'll send it up to you when we get ready with second and third.
Up next will be our main event for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars. 20 laps will be the distance, and Clint has our second place finisher, Ryan Hiller.
Well, Ryan, we haven't got to talk to you on Mr. Transmission Vic's Lane, but you've been fast this year. Can you be happy with your run here tonight?
Oh yeah, it seems every time I run in second, I blow a tire, something goes wrong, so it's nice to finally stick it up here.
Let's talk about last week in the Art Hill. You had a great run in there. What happened?
I must have hit something. The tire kind of split in half and it blew, and I was pretty much the night there.
Having fun on the dirt?
Oh, it's awesome.
One of our newcomers, Ryan. Get over here with Dusty. Dusty, solid for you tonight. Can you be pleased with third?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The track was tough to pass on the inside, and a couple of those cars, they were just ringing around the top. These two, they were pulling away from me. I didn't have anything for them, so I'm pretty happy with where I finished.
Solid job. There you have it down here. Kyle Wirt, Ryan Hiller, and Dusty DeBoer, your top three in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane.
Thank you very much, Clint, as we get set for our 20-lap A feature for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars, and here is how they will line up for that 20-lap main event. Starting 24th at Hagersville, Ontario, in car number 14, TF Noel Teal. Lining up 23rd at Beamsville, Ontario, aboard car number 1A, it's Paul Kleiger. Going off 22nd at Freelton, Ontario, aboard the DJD Graphics, car number 43, it's Darren Dryden. Lining up 21st at Binbrook, Ontario, in car number 29, it's Liam Martin. Outside row number 10 out of Ohsweken, Ontario, the Victory Game sponsor number 38 of Derek Miller. 19th started out of Ohsweken, Ontario, the 69 of Joshua Hill. And going off 18th at Welland, Ontario, car number 3B, Blaine Barrow. 17th starter out of Ohsweken, Ontario, in car number 28, it's Jordan Hill. 16th starter comes out of Font Hill, Ontario, in the car number 08, it's Stephen Beckett. And going off 15th at Ancaster, Ontario, the Hallett Fabrication Home Improvement number 51 of Trevor Young. 14th starter out of Gores Landing, Ontario, the Mayhew Graphics number 19 of Brandon Merle. 13th starter out of Ohsweken, Ontario, the 9C of Brian Nanakoke. And going off outside of row number 6, the 12th starter out of Ancaster, Ontario, the 26X is Terry Baker. Lining up 11th out of Brantford, Ontario, the 49L of Lucas Smith. And to the top 10, outside of row number 5 at a Six Nations, Ontario, in car number 20, it's Johnny Miller. 9th starter comes out of Beachville, Ontario, the 5-star of DJ Christie. Going off 8th at Mount Bridges, Ontario, in car number 45, it's Nick Sheridan. And starting 7th at Caledonia, Ontario, in car number 88 is Jesse McDonald. Outside row number 3, the 6th starting spot at Vanessa, Ontario, in car number 4, it's a Hurricane, Hannah Farrell. Going off 5th, tonight's Nathan Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winner at Carlisle, Ontario, the 1C of Davey Boughton. Lining up 4th at Burtford, Ontario, the number 12 of Brad Heron. And starting 3rd, the current point leader at a St. Thomas, Ontario, the best performance and safety service, number 52 of Jesse Costa. To the front row, outside in the 2nd starting spot at a Hamilton, Ontario, the 56, it's Derek Lemaire. And on the pole tonight at a Port Colborne, Ontario, the Lakeshore Gators sponsored number 5D, Jacob Dykstra. 24 cars set to do battle for 20 laps tonight. The Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Field assembling down the back straightaway and into the corners 3 and 4. Everybody finding their positions. And Clint getting an awesome shot of our pole sitter, Jacob Dykstra in the 5D. Pardon me, Sean, and our cameraman is getting the shot. Clint just navigating him to that point. Big weekend for Jacob Dykstra, always when the Action Sprint Tour visits his home track, Humberstone Speedway, in his backyard in Port Colborne. If you like the show these great sprint car drivers are putting on tonight, you can catch it again on Sunday at Humberstone Speedway. One car just pulling off the track to the pit area. I think it was the 38 of Derek Miller. It's not. He's on the track still. One car definitely hit the exit ramp there in turn number 2 before the green flag. Not too sure who that was. White flag from the hand of starter Cameron Thompson this evening. I haven't gotten an update from Kyle yet, so no kid yet.
His life has not dramatically changed as of yet.
No, it already has. He has missed the night at the racetrack.
Not true.
Or so.
Business about to pick up for the great sprint car division. Double greens in the air, and Jacob Dykstra leads him down into corner number 1. Derek Lemaire on that outside line. He had a very solid qualifying heat. Let's see if he can keep it up here in the feature event.
Good start for Jacob Dykstra in that 5D machine. Derek Lemaire slipping back into the 3rd spot momentarily, but as Jesse Costa moved ahead, but he fighting back with him, and Hannah Farrell right there as well. 3-car battle for second. 3 wide into corner number 3. Didn't look like there was going to be enough room, but how about that move by the Hurricane? Hannah Farrell 2 for 1 special off of corner number 4. She moves into second.
And Hannah Farrell there in the 2nd spot. Right around goes Derek Lemaire in front of the pack down in corner 2. Wow. Stephen Beckett had to get almost stopped down there. That is a horrible feeling, being at the front of the pack and spinning around down in corner 2. Derek Lemaire.
Ooh.
And one out of my vantage point under the red flag, so problems up the high side of corner number 1. Apologize for the missed call there, but
I can't
out of my
That's,
range of view.
Derek
here.
Miller in the 38. We can see from our monitors now, but we definitely can't tell that from our point of view up here. Got up and over in some capacity. There's damage to the top wing.
So here's the replay of Derek Lemaire going around. And Clinton Jeffries on the scene down in corner 1.
I got Derek Miller here. Derek, first question, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened?
I just ran out of room there. I had a good run, and it just closed up on me when I was right there, so nothing I could do.
Car does not look pretty.
She's looked prettier, that's for sure.
Quickly, where are you playing this weekend?
Nowhere. I'm going to Santa Fe next weekend, so I won't be here, so see everybody next week after that.
Those guitar fingers are okay?
I'm okay.
How about it for Derek Miller, Juno Award winner, one heck of an entertainer, whether he's playing the guitar or flipping them down the front straightaway here at Ohsweken. This Victory Games Nitro 54 car is an all-out mess, though, guys. You can see every corner on it destroyed up. The wings are pooched on it. Both rear tires are gone. Big problems for the 38 Victory Games machine here of Derek Miller, but he's all right, and that's the main thing, guys.
Yeah, just looking at the footage here of the car, and man, we missed something here, Clayton, big time.
I was so focused on watching the field try and get by Derek Lemaire's number 56 because there was a couple of near misses there, or near hits, I suppose. But Derek Miller obviously getting up and over, and looks like we might have a replay of it.
Maybe the backstretch wall. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he touched the outside of the front wall and just ran out of room. can't really see him get up and over there. The camera's from turn number 3, so it's hard to tell, but you can just see the dust kind of pick up there on the front straightaway, and looked like he tagged the outside wall with the right rear tire. It's kind of a bad spot to start your tumble, Greg, and we've seen it a lot of times over the year when that outside retaining wall kind of sneaks up on drivers at a turn number 4. But there's nothing to kind of stop you. Like if you start your tumble kind of going into turn number 3 like Jim Hoopinen did, that catch fence and those hay bales can kind of catch you before you get going too far. But you start kind of halfway down the front straightaway and head towards turn number 1. It's a long way with that runoff up there.
Yeah, it can carry you a long way, and we've seen that a number of times with drivers having wild rides down in corner number 1. So good to see Derek is A-OK and walked away with a smile. His car will definitely need some work as they're trying to get it up there on the hook.
Well, guys, the 29 of Liam Martin has requested 2 minutes in the work area. They have granted him that. He has been pushed back to the work area right now. The 29 of Liam Martin headed back to the work area, guys.
Shout out to Noah Farrell watching online. I know Adam usually gives him a shout out. Adam tuned in at some point not too long ago. Wanted to know if we could go back and redo the last 2 hours.
He doesn't know where the rewind button is. He knows he can just start from the beginning, right?
It's a chore every week to help him find the video on Facebook.
Oh, man.
It's about. He joined about 9:30, so I'm guessing that's about the time the buffet kicked him out. Time to go home, sir.
Ouch. We've been pretty good. We haven't really shot too many at him at all tonight.
Oh, there's been a few.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't have to take your shoes off to count them, though. That's pretty good, if you ask me.
No, but he would. Again, next week, it's autograph night. Chance to go down to the track and meet your favorite drivers. A lot of them with autograph cards and candies to hand out. Jibs Action Sports always brings some cool equipment to give away, so make sure you're here for that. Next Friday night, 7:30, it's Kids Race Night in support of the Canadian National Autism Foundation. I want to thank the folks from MMBO Direct Marketing. They always put on the kids race events, and they do such a great job in putting that together, so good to have them back.
It's Halloween
Next
in August,
Friday.
too, so there'll be, I'm sure, lots of treats being given out by the race teams as well. And I make no promises, but in past years, Jibs has brought like a skateboard, a scooter, and a BMX bike to give away, so no confirmation that that's what they're doing last year or this year, but they usually give away some pretty cool stuff, like you said.
Adam says he went to a restaurant in Trois Rivières. Everything on the menu was $5.95. Wish you were here. So that's $5.95 times 20 items that Adam just bought.
And Pinty's paid for the whole thing?
See, I learned Adam can take credit. When Clint had the troubles with his mic, I called him out on the air, which usually when you're live on air, you're supposed to kind of bypass the problems, not highlight them. Yeah. But Adam has taught me to highlight the problems and rip the person that's having the trouble. So
just go ahead.
So you're welcome, Clint. When I was down there and Clint was interviewing, I'm like, is he going to look up at me and be happy or upset? Thankfully, he smiled. His microphone took a beating, I can tell you that. Oh, Adam says he bought for me and others. Oh, yes. That's like when you go to the doctor and say, I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. Now, two orders of poutine. My buddy, he's on his way. He's coming. Yeah.
Heavy on the curd. Nitro Man's here, Kevin Miller.
shouldn't have opened this can.
I should not. Adam's still going.
Takes him a little longer to get his messages through when he's poking the keyboard one letter at a time.
So still waiting for Liam Martin. Oh, no, he's back out there. We're still waiting. Here just getting the final few cars in order. Doug Leonard's letting everyone know exactly where they're supposed to be. Now, Derek Lemaire is kind of up there mid-pack, but he did spin. Just waiting to see if he will be sent tail or get a position back.
Yeah, Doug Leonard just said that he was involved in the caution,
Okay.
so he I think was attempting to get his spot back, but realized that that was not going to be the case. Generally, the rule in a sprint car is that if you spin to a stop, you are an involved car in the caution. And that's what kind of made that tricky there was a couple of drivers were left with no choice but to try and squeeze between Lemaire in that inside retaining wall. There wasn't a whole lot of room to get through there. At least it didn't look like it from our vantage point. And DJ Christie and Stephen Beckett both got through. Christie went through at full speed kind of before Lemaire came to a stop, but Stephen Beckett had to slow right down and kind of figure out if there was enough space there. But if he had to stop and basically give up a top 10 spot just to avoid contact there, that could have been disastrous for the 0-8 team as we get set to come back to green.
Yeah, I think he got as close to stalling out the car as he could possibly get, but kept it rolling and is still up there in contention as we are back underway. And here comes Jesse Costa winding it up on the top side, but here comes Hannah Farrell up into his line and kind of pinches him out of the way.
Costa goes another lane higher though off of corner number 4, trying to find a little bit of room, and this time we'll have to follow the Hurricane Hannah Farrell into corners 1 and 2. Not enough room to get it done that time as Hannah Farrell holds off the charge there in that battle for the second spot.
Brian Nanico, oh, now Davey Boughton around in corner number 1. Keeps the foot in the throttle. The car's going to stop down in the middle groove in corner 1. And that will put us back into the caution. And under that lap, Brian Nanico, oh, and that car has just puffed a ton of smoke. As he came out of corner 4, the lap before that, Brian was way up in 3 and 4, way off the track. Took a while before I could see who was up there, but he lost a ton of track position on that last lap, did Brian Nanico. So Davey Boughton will get pushed back underway up in corner number 1, did his best to try and get the car back around.
The question I'd like to ask a variety of different sprint car drivers is, in a stock car, if you send yourself into turn 1 or 3 or whatever, a little too hot, spin the car all by yourself, you get mad at yourself and refire the car and continue on your way. In a sprint car, you're stuck sitting there to think about it until a push truck comes to push you off again. So is that little bit of time helpful to maybe help you calm yourself, or is it something where you just sit there and punch the steering wheel and go, let's go, I want to go again?
I would say option B, because when you do something wrong, when I'm even in my street car, the feeling is mash the gas because it makes me feel better. And you can't do that in a sprint car.
Fair enough. As we get back to green, Jesse Costa and the Hurricane Hannah Farrell battling it out for that second spot. Nick Sheridan in the mix as well. 3-car battle for the runner-up spot. And Sheridan works around the outside, following Hannah Farrell into corner number 1. 3 wide for second.
And some great racing from second on back all through the pack. There's a good fight going on between Jesse McDonald and Lucas Smith as well. And that the Massage Pro number 49L as they work it off of corner number 4. Oh, close call for Hannah Farrell and Nick Sheridan as they cross the stripe.
Wow, that was awfully close on the front straightaway. Trouble up in corner number 3. Trevor Young around. Caution on lap number 6.
Oh, Adam, you make it so easy.
tech specialist Adam Ross has tuned in.
He said there's a strange echo on the broadcast tonight as though we're speaking from a distance. And I just wanted to say it's because you're not here, Adam, to absorb all that sound. It's just bouncing around in a can up here.
Oh, man.
I love you, Adam. So Trevor Young back around in the Hallett Home Improvement, number 51. Should be able to continue on. I want to thank our cameramen here tonight. Dave Steyer's on the roof as always, as he's been forever since the dawn of time. Greg Boydell up in corner 2. Sean Robertson down in the infield.
Yeah, no issues down here for Trevor Young, guys. Gets that Hallett Home Improvements 51 car back fired up. Just a slight spin up here in turn 4.
Back single file, looks like we should be able to come back to the green flag. Jacob Dykstra, Anna Farrell, and Nick Sheridan. Last week's Performer of the Week picking up second win of the season back there in that third spot. He's got Jesse Costa, the point leader, right behind him.
Good restart for the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell there in the number 4 machine. Got a good jump and now we'll have a chance to challenge Jacob Dykstra for the race lead. Jesse Costa and Nick Sheridan preferring that outside lane. And here's a heat race winner, DJ Christie in the mix, but caution is out. Davey Boughton stopped at the top of turn number 2. Not sure if we're going to take that lap or not. Would be lap number 7 in the books if we do. And according to our timing and scoring, Jesse Costa ran almost 0.4 of a second quicker there than Jacob Dykstra's lap into the 15-second bracket, which is pretty quick at this point in the night.
So the white flag displayed again. And we'll try it all over again with Davey Boughton back to the tail of the field. Snail's pace coming back to this restart.
Yeah, I kind of don't hate it right now just because of the camera angle we're getting from the infield from Sean Robertson. It's a pretty cool camera angle watching these drivers come back to the green flag as Jacob Dykstra gets back on the loud pedal, come back to green. Everybody makes it by the pylon in the top 10. Looks like we're good to go. And Hannah Farrell is right there battling for the race lead.
Jesse Costa, meanwhile, gets by for the third spot. Used the corner 2 exit to get by Nick Sheridan. Now sets his sights on the top 2 as they head down into corner number 1 with 8 laps on the board, 12 to go. Dykstra has the top spot, but Farrell closes the gap. The top 3 all right there, nose to tail.
Hannah Farrell getting some good runs through the middle of the racetrack, and here comes Jesse Costa up top in that number 52 machine. Good head of steam going into corner number 1. Gets the lane up on the top side of the speedway. We'll see if he can get by the Hurricane in corner number 2. Cap closes up, and he had to get on the binders there in turn number 2.
Dykstra out in front over Farrell and Costa, then a gap back to Sheridan, another gap back to DJ Christie, who's duking it out with Stephen Beckett and the 49L of Lucas Smith. Good 3-car fight back there. At the front, Costa around Farrell, now tracking down the leader.
Jesse Costa with a gutsy move there off of corner number 4 last time to get by the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell, can he do it again to get by Jacob Dykstra? Yes, he can. Lap number 11 has a new leader. It's Jesse Costa in the car number 52.
And there he goes down the backstretch with a head of steam as Jacob Dykstra, I believe, has a left front flat as that car slowed out of corner 2. Hard to tell from this vantage point, but it did look like the left front is down and causing some handling issues for the 5D of Jacob Dykstra, slipped back to 3rd, and now under pressure from 4th place, Nick Sheridan.
Yeah, absolutely. The left front is down on that number 5D and causing him all kinds of issues as he got awfully loose and out of shape there going through corners 3 and 4. That'll allow Nick Sheridan to get by Stephen Beckett next in line to try and push the 5T back another spot, as Dykstra doing a good job despite those conditions to try and keep that car in a battle up front.
Beckett and Smith right there, nose to tail, back in that fifth, sixth spot. As Beckett finally clears Smith and now looks low, and Jacob Dykstra is just trying to hold on right now at this point.
Jesse Costa has opened a pretty significant lead in that number 52 machine, at least a half a straightaway over Nick Sheridan, who just got by Hannah Farrell on the top side in corner number 4. He moves up into the second spot in car number 45. Last week's winner has less than 5 laps to eliminate a full straightaway lead to try and get win number 3 this year. Jesse Costa also looking for win number 3 on the season.
By some lap traffic on lap number 16, 4 to go for the driver of St. Thomas, Ontario, the point leader coming into this evening. Up to the second spot, Nick Sheridan, as he got past there on that last restart, but that didn't phase him. Now back to the second spot as he's cleared Hannah Farrell and put distance on her.
Lucas Smith all over the back bumper of Jacob Dykstra's number 5D. That battle for the 6th position. Impressive that Dykstra's kept that car up to speed all this time. How about Brandon Merle with a good run going? The number 19 machine runs in the 8th spot at the moment with 2 laps to go. Now Jesse Costa works down the back straightaway. Full straightaway advantage over Nick Sheridan's number 45 as he continues to hold that position over Hannah Farrell's number 4. Just 3 car lengths separating that car as the white flag waves.
One more time around for Costa. Then you've got Nick Sheridan in second, and this race has really come to the 4th place driver, Stephen Beckett, closing the gap on Hannah Farrell. He's going to run out of time for a podium finish, but a good rally for him as the checker's about to come out. Jesse Costa will pick up the win. The point leader pads his lead. Nick Sheridan will cross the line in second. Hannah Farrell third. Fourth will be Stephen Beckett. And DJ Christie cross the line in the 5th position. Lucas Smith 6th, Brandon Merle 7th, Jacob Dykstra holds on for 8th. Lane Barrow, what a good comeback story for him. He'll cross the line in the 9th spot, and Paul Klager completes our top 10. And Jesse Costa will head back to Mr. Transmission victory lane with his 3rd feature win of the season.
And unofficially, Stephen Beckett will be your hard charger for the night from 16th to 4th, plus 12 tonight for the driver of the number 08. 1 spot shy of the podium, but a real good run for Stephen Beckett. And you talked earlier in the night about Brandon Merle and the emergence he's made in that number 19 machine. 14th to 7th tonight in the number 19 machine. So another couple of drivers that didn't finish on the podium, but had real solid runs here this evening.
Well, fireworks lighting up the sky another time to celebrate this great sprint car feature event. The official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway sent it down to Mr. Transmission victory lane and Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, Jesse Costa wastes no time getting out of the number 52 car. He'll get the safety gear off. We'll get a word with them quickly here around in front. Take a step up to the top of the wing. How about it? A big Mr. Transmission victory lane Ohsweken welcome for Jesse Costa. Jesse, the track looked like it was perfect for you tonight. Once you got out front, you were really able to stretch it out. Talk about how you were able to go to the extreme top, no lumps up there, and really make this track work for you this evening.
Our car's been working really good the past 4 or 5 weeks. I just try to get up there and keep my momentum going, try to stay out of their way. But I got to thank Best Safety Training, Wells Foundry, Magnum Signs, Castro Canada, Leach Performance for the awesome engine, Welders Millwrights, D&O Towing, Ron Gentello, Property and Building Maintenance. My girlfriend, she's out here. She's about to have her kid any day, but she wants to be out here supporting me. My parents, my crew, Steven, Ohsweken Speedway, the fans for coming out.
Great job, Jesse Costa hit all the marks here tonight on Renway night. He will get it done. We'll get over here and get a word with young Nick Sheridan and Hannah Farrell. Well, Nick, another solid run for you. Pretty impressive summer you're having here, man.
Yes, definitely, Clint. I mean, it's been impressive to everyone at our shop. I mean, my dad, my brother, all our whole team. It's amazed all of us. I mean, we definitely had a good car tonight, but Jesse was the class of the field. Congrats to him. But it was definitely it was a really good night. I want to thank all my sponsors: Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Leach Performance Engines, Belfort Property Restoration, and hopefully we can come back next week and do one spot better.
Great job, Nick Sheridan. We'll get over here with Hannah Farrell. Hannah, you jump up on the concrete tonight. Hannah, solid run for you. You were in this battle tonight. You got to be real pleased.
Yeah, it felt amazing just to get on the podium tonight. I've got to thank all my friends and family for always coming out and watching me. Everybody at Bar Motorsports always puts in their effort every single week, and all of our sponsors.
How's the track for you guys tonight?
I really liked it. It was smooth. It was really good to work with.
There you have it, your top three tonight. Jesse Costa, Nick Sheridan, and Hannah Farrell get it done in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, guys.
Good job, Clint. Down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. As we get ready, 2 more features to go. The Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars with their 20-lap main event, followed by the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks with their 20-lap feature. Still to come here at the Big O on Renway Energy Night, the official fuel and lubricant provider of Ohsweken Speedway. They also do heating and air conditioning. If you're looking for some of those needs, you can contact Renway Energy. They are located in Brantford, and they'd be pleased to serve you, and we want to thank them for their sponsorship of tonight's race.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway for Friday night excitement here on Renway Energy Night. My name is Greg Kellman. With me, Clayton Johns, and trackside Clinton Jeffrey as we return with 2 features left to go. Things wrapping up down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane for a crate sprint car division where Jesse Costa has picked up the win over Nick Sheridan and Hannah Farrell. We've talked about Nick Sheridan, and somebody called him Nick the Quick on Facebook. I think Quick Nick Sheridan's a good nickname for him because he's exactly that. And as Adam has pointed out before, man, this kid is so slick in Victory Lane when you go to interview him.
Yeah, he's so smooth on the racetrack and so well-spoken for a 14-year-old off the racetrack. Nails off all of his sponsors there. Thanked just about everybody under the sun and in a very good way. So impressive to see such a young driver performing so well on the track and with such high praise for the people around him off the track as well.
All right, ready to go with the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A main event. 20 laps will be the distance. The starting lineup will look like this. Going from the pole at Alden, New York in the Fiberworks Composite. Merzac Enterprises number 49K. The straight shooter, Scott Kruder. Rolling off second, he was the Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winner tonight out of Brantford, driving the CarQuest Auto Parts, Brown Auto Service. Car number 10, downtown, Mitch Brown. Rolling off in the 3rd spot, he's the current point leader, hailing from Scotland, Ontario, and the original Traders Energy, Burford Heating and Air Conditioning, Sovereign Fusion 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Going from 4th out of Mississauga, Ontario, the Brantford Car Star, car number 17X, is the highlight man, Mac Demand. And starting at 5th, out of Dunville and the Kingpin Farms, Burger Barn, Aiken Motors, number 91, Ryan Turner. Starting 6th from Grimsby in car number 90, that'll be Travis Cunningham. And going from 7th out of Dorchester and the Case IH Ohsweken Speedway Aero Express, car number 1, Holly Porter. Starting in position number 8, out of Tilsonburg in the Burger Barn Ohsweken Construction Mobile 1, car number 13, Corey Turner. And going from spot number 9 out of Scotland, Ontario, in the Total Rentals, Ackland Insurance Ties Tree Service, 87X, Sean Evans. On his outside, going from the 10th spot from Brantford in the Hills Tire and Gas, Little Bend 110, that'll be Jake Brown. And starting at 11th from Thetford in the Jennifer Hatch Coldwell Banker, Tim's Lawn Care 5D, that'll be Shane Ross. Going from 12th out of Lewiston, New York, to G&J Contracting 81, that's Derek Jonathan. And lining up in the 13th position in the Pinewood Horticulture, car number 7, That'll be Caleb Wood. Caleb Wood going from spot 13. He's from London, Ontario. Starting 14th at a Kaiser Center. And the Charlie B. Honey, Pius Spring and Alignment, Braemar Buildings, number 11, Jamie Turner. And going from 15th out of Ohsweken, the Nitro 54 Variety 15, that is Dan Nanico. Starting 16th out of Carlisle in car number 9, the Nitro 54 Variety. MMPO Direct Marketing car number 9 is Steve Lyons, going from 17th. And the Gales Auto Aftermarket 21J, that'll be John Burbridge from St. Williams. Starting 18th in the Goleta Flooring 71S, that'll be Sean Slider. And going from 19th from Caledonia, the Burger Barn East One Construction, number 55, Mikey Bobby Mike Thorne. Starting 20th in the Jason Enterprises, car number 46 out of Kaister Center, Kevin Pauls. And going 21st from Thamesford, the Vipon Deller car number 45, that will be Curtis Gartley. Going from 22nd out of Charing Cross in the 9B, the ERW Contracting ride, that is Scott Burke. And going from 23rd after his problems in the qualifying heat, it's the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen, in the Steyrs Racing Case IH car number 0. Starting 24th, also missed the scales after finishing up in the 3rd spot in his qualifying heat, so he's relegated to the 24th starting spot from Ohsweken, the Case IH car number 68, Aaron Turkey. And going in 25th spot from Beamsville in the Parts Source, JD Recovery, car number 88H, that'll be Josh Hansen. And Josh Hansen is able to get the car out and ready to go. Didn't make his qualifying heat. Good to see Josh back here ready to go for the feature event. Well, Dylan Westbrook looking to make history here tonight. If he could win, not only would he pad his point lead, but he could move into a tie. Glenn Steyrs, for all-time winningest 360 sprint car driver here at Ohsweken Speedway. He has 26, and Glenn has 27. So a win tonight for Dylan Westbrook could put him into a tie and change the record books for the point leader. Not going to be an easy task, though, because those two drivers on the front row, Scott Kruder has really found something here in the last month, and Mitch Brown, you could say the same for him as well, Clayton.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked a little bit earlier on in the night about the resurgence that Mitch Brown has found a little bit through the middle portion of the season. Maybe struggled the first half of the year, but has really come on since about the middle of July. And starting on the front row is something that he certainly looks forward to and will likely make the most of with this opportunity tonight. We'll see what he can do with the Brown Auto Service Car Quest number 10.
Well, it's that time, folks. Get up on your feet, get a hat, a program, something, whatever you got. We're going to wave these drivers on, send them off to battle. They're going to do 20 laps for you, the fans, Ohsweken style. So wave these drivers on. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. White flag is displayed next time by. We're going green flag racing for 20 laps for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. The straight shooter Scott Kruder and downtown Mitch Brown on the front row. The Strickland GMC Pace trucks get set to pull off down the backstretch. Cameron Thompson has the double green flags in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
Green flag wave. Scott Kruder leads the field into corners 1 and 2. Dylan Westbrook trying to take second away from Mitch Brown. Gets the job done off of corner number 2. Kruder to the top side. Westbrook to the bottom here. Off of turn number 4, Kruder leads lap number 1.
Straight shooter locked and loaded tonight. He's way up top. riding around the rim as we've got them going down the backstretch. Dylan Westbrook in second, Mitch Brown in third. DeMann and Ryan Turner right now your top 5. The caution flag out one around as John Burbridge Jr. spins between corners 1 and 2.
Well, before lap number 2 could go into the record books, John Burbridge Jr. turned around at the bottom of corner number 2. 21 car bringing out the first caution of this 360 Sprint Car A feature. You mentioned, Greg, the first 360A feature since July the 23rd. Track was closed on July the 26th after those Northern Summer Nationals events, and then drivers were given last Friday night off in the 360 division to allow those drivers that would like to do so to compete in the 360 Nationals at the Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. Dylan Westbrook was the only driver to take that option and traveled all the way to the Midwest and took part in that. Finished the Saturday night main event in the C main.
Yeah, and this is really where it gets down to go time in the point standings. And for Dylan Westbrook, as dominant as he has been, the nights where he hasn't won, it seems like he's had a major issue. And that has him right now with just a 6-point cushion. That's not a lot, and it takes one race for things to go sideways. So this is far from over for Dylan Westbrook to lock up a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw it earlier in the season when he came out of the gate fast and won a couple of races, and then had one night where a mechanical failure put him in the fence and forced him to give up the point lead and gave it to Mac DeMann there for a little while. And Jim Hoopinen had the point lead for a brief moment, I believe, and Westbrook has it back. But with 5-point nights left, it is far from decided. There's still plenty of time to get the job done, but also still time to have things go wrong. Set to come back to green here off of corner number 4. Scott Kruder, the point man, the 49K. Green flag waves, we're back underway.
Down into corner 1 they go. Mitch Brown goes downtown while the others in the top 5 right now go up top. Side by side with Dylan Westbrook is Mitch Brown for the second position.
Much better restart for Mitch Brown than the initial start. Pulled even there with Dylan Westbrook. That battle for the second spot. Now he's got to have to contend with Mac DeMann's number 17X. They battle for the third position here off of turn 2.
Kruder, Westbrook, Brown, and here comes Mac DeMann now as he charges around the outside of the 10 of Brown. Give him the third spot at the line. So it's Brown back to 4th and Corey Turner right now your top 5. Then you've got 6th right now Ryan Turner. 7th is a battle between Sean Evans and Travis Cunningham. 9th is the 5 of Shane Ross, and the 1 of Holly Porter rounds up the top 10.
Corey Turner getting by his younger brother Ryan Turner there to get into the top 5. Brakes glowing red on the Mitch Brown number 10 already here with 4 laps complete, working on lap number 5. Kruder into traffic here though. With 5 laps in the books, he works around the 46 of Kevin Pauls. Top lane mostly open though as the slower cars work around the bottom side of the speedway, but Kruder had to get on the brakes there. Sean Slater works around John Burbridge Jr.
That's exactly what happened to Scott Kruder earlier on in the year when a slower car moved up into the lane when he was trying to run down the backstretch and get by, and he got pinched and flipped. That time he backed out as Sean Slater got into his lane.
Kruder maintains a 10-car length advantage over Dylan Westbrook, who got through a couple of those slower cars a little bit more efficiently. Here, 7 laps in the books, 13 to go for the driver of the 49K, and they are 2 wide all the way in front of him, the length of the straightaway. We'll see how Kruder can get through this traffic. He races into turn number 3 this time, working that top side of the grid that he's preferred so far in this race. Gets by the number 9 of Steve Lyons, and now he's going to have to go right through the middle to try and get through by the 88H of Josh Hansen. Can't get the job done. Westbrook closes the gap.
And Hansen and Lyons, you've got the 81 of Derek Jonathan all in the thick of it, as well as the leader scoots by the car that got off track, Dan Anico. And that time it looked like Mac DeMann took a little slide off the end of the track as well.
Westbrook closes the gap and might have the race lead off of turn number 2. No, Kruder gets by around the outside. Westbrook had the lead by a nose momentarily, but Kruder got back by him up top with the momentum. He's following Josh Hansen, who's had trouble all night long, but right now running pretty solid up in that top groove as Westbrook and Kruder go at it for the race lead. New leader, Dylan Westbrook, off turn 2.
Tucks up in front of the straight shooter, Scott Kruder. Now Kruder goes down to the inside line, and he says, here, Dylan, you try and get by Josh Hansen because I certainly can't. Now they tuck in behind each other as they go down into corner number 1. Kruder digging on the inside. They're side by side. Now Kruder back to the top spot down the back stretch. 3 wide in front of the leaders.
Lap 12, Kruder getting by Dylan Westbrook for the race lead, but here comes Westbrook back around the top. They trade spots again. Still in traffic, they can't get by these slower cars. They're racing amongst them. Oh, and they get together. Kruder gets into Westbrook, they spin. Kruder keeps his foot in it. Westbrook goes around. And caution flag is out. McDeman got around both drivers.
Okay, so how do they call
how do they
this?
score
Because
that?
Kruder got into Dylan Westbrook. We didn't complete the lap, so it goes back to the previous lap, and Kruder is still going. He did not stop.
He didn't stop, so he'll not be an involved car there. Wow. So I'm going to take my shoes off for this.
We're going to have to wait and see what the call will be on this.
I don't want to say, like, that was tough to see. I would like to see the replay there, and I'm sure Spencer will have it for us before too long. See the safety crew going to the 47X machine there. And Westbrook just got a little sideways there and then came down. Kruder came in a little hot looking for a gap. It looked like there might have been one between where lines ended the corner right in the bottom of the blocks. Westbrook was kind of about a lane and a half up, and then he got in just a little bit hot trying to get to that bottom lane, and Kruder got into him, turned him around. Kruder did a full 360, and McDeman went around the top of both of them.
Well, guys, hang tight. We're going to see if we can get the call from Doug Leonard himself. I'll break into the officials' radio here in just a moment. He's calling out the lineup right now, but I want him to give us the exact call on that race. Doug Leonard, can you give us that call on the track? What happened there?
Going into turn number 1, the 49 made contact with the 47X. 47X was the leader of the race because of the contact. 49 must line up behind the 47X at the rear of the field.
Thank you, Doug. They're here right from our head official, Doug Leonard. And typically the question would be the 49 got going again, but because he took out the leader, we'll have to go tail with Westbrook. This is going to be a good one to watch from the back, guys.
Well, that has serious point implications, Greg, because the point leader goes to the back, and McDeman, who comes into the night second in the championship standings, is now the leader.
Yeah, he's in the catbird seat right now, and Corey Turner's not looking too bad either. For Corey Turner, came into tonight 25 points down. That's a lot this late in the season. This is an excellent chance for Corey Turner to get right back into the thick of it right here if he can somehow hang on to a top 3 or even get by these top 2 and pick up a win.
We'll see what they can do as they get set to come back to green. 12 down, 8 to go. The highlight man, McDeman, your race leader, with a couple of lap cars between, one lap car between he and the number 10 of Mitch Brown back to green. They are your top 2.
Mitch Brown goes up top this time, and Corey Turner now on the bottom. They'll go wheel to wheel down the back stretch. They go into corner number 3. Turner stuck right down to the inside wall. Meanwhile, taking a look at the back of the pack, Dylan Westbrook and Scott Kruder trying to dispose of some cars. One goes around right in front of Kruder. It was Mike Thorne, and that will bring out the caution.
Wow. I'm not sure where to start with this one. Wow, just lap after lap, it's taking your breath away just how much action is happening on all 4 corners of this racetrack.
Thorne around, you see the nose wing on that car all askew. So it's McDeman, Corey Turner now to second as he got by Mitch Brown on that last restart. Brown back in third, then the lap car of Derek Jonathan in the 81. Ryan Turner fourth, and Shane Ross, I believe, up there being scored in the 5th spot. Now he has, he's not going to be there for long, Clayton, because he has not got a very good view right now. Look at the top wing in the 5D.
Yeah, no, not so good. The front supports.
Speaking of
5D,
weighing the nose askew on the 55 of Mike Thorne, so we'll see how long that holds on for him as well.
Saw Thorne checking the steering on that before he got pushed off, so the front end in good enough shape.
Now this is where Shane Ross needs to just stop the car. then request the 2 minutes and get pushed back.
Right,
because the longer he rolls or rolls in, he's going to have less time here. He was just trying to see as best he could.
And that should be a relatively simple fix. Now, Clint, will he still get his 2 minutes? Track officials trying to connect with Shane Ross and figure out just exactly what he wants to do here. I don't want to make a ruling on this one because I can't recall what our rule is for the 2 minute work area, but I know in some other series, once you get past the halfway point of the race, there's no more guaranteed time in the work area. You're not guaranteed the 2 minutes. I think generally in a weekly show, you want to keep your drivers on the racetrack. You'll try and give them that 2 minutes if possible, but don't want to say for sure if that is in fact an Ohsweken rule.
Nonetheless, McDeman, Corey Turner, and Mitch Brown, the top three. Then the lap car of Derek Jonathan, the 91 of Ryan Turner, another lap car, Scott Burke, as well as the 15 of Dan Nanakoke. And then it should be Holly Porter now in the top five.
Westbrook is being scored in the 17th position at the moment. Scott Kruger in 18th. Kruger's ahead of him on the racetrack, though, so... So Mike Thorne's getting his 2 minutes in the work area right now. So that answers that question. You do get your 2 minutes if it's after the halfway point here at Ohsweken. And subsequently Shane Ross getting 2 minutes as well.
Still one feature to come. The Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks will conclude tonight's program. The winning 50-50 number will be drawn by the feature winner here for the 360 Sprint Cars.
So McDeman and Corey Turner each have a win here in 2019. Mitch Brown does not. After those two drivers, the next driver in line that has a victory, I think you end up back at the 49 of Kruger.
Yeah, got to go back to August 18th of 2017 for Mitch Brown to have a win here at Ohsweken Speedway. So it's been a while for Mitch.
That's surprising because he's been in contention for so many of them.
Now, they did not run full-time last year here,
True.
so that's a big part of that. But green flag is back out. Single file past that restart cone. Everybody so far clean and green as Corey Turner had a shot at McDeman, but that gap grew quickly.
Yeah, tried to slide up in front of him there in corner number 2, but didn't quite have the momentum to get it done, so Demand pulls away by about 15. Currently starting to corner number 1. One car up over the berm there in corner number 3 and 4. That was Josh Hansen, gets it back on track. We stay green. There'll be 5 laps to go. This time by for the highlight man, McDeman.
Yeah, coming into tonight's second place in points. Things couldn't have turned out better for him so far in this one. Leading the way over Corey Turner and Mitch Brown. It's going to be a good night for Corey Turner as well as things end up the way they're looking right now as Dylan Westbrook still deep in the pack, trying to make some moves. He and Scott Kruger are working right now on the back end of Jim Hoopin in the 0-1, or in the 0 rather.
Still McDeman with a convincing half straightaway lead over Corey Turner's number 13. DeMann already into some slower traffic here. Still 3 laps to go. Plenty of time for Turner to close that gap if DeMann struggles to get through these slower cars, and track much slicker than when the race started here. So we'll see how this develops over the final 2.5 laps as DeMann works into corners 3 and 4. Lots of traffic right in front of him here over these final 2 laps.
In a great battle between the 3rd and 4th place drivers. Ryan Turner took 3rd away from Mitch Brown. Brown, though, keeps fighting back on the inside line. A couple of the Turners up there in the top 3 right now is McDeman, and heavy traffic coming through corner 4.
Trying to find a way by the number 5D of Shane Ross and the 55 of Mike Thorne. Corey Turner has narrowed the gap to just a couple of car lengths here on the final lap. Last time down the back straight and into corners 3 and 4. DeMann goes through the middle of Ross and Thorne off of corner number 4 for the second time in 2019. The highlight man goes to victory lane.
And it wasn't a huge one either because Corey Turner was right there on the tail tank as they crossed the start-finish line. A big win for McNamara, but Corey Turner makes it interesting. In the end, Ryan Turner will cross the line in 3rd. Mitch Brown 4th. Holly Porter crosses in the 5th position. 6th will be Travis Cunningham. Great night for him from the heats on through to the feature. So a good run for the 90 of Travis Cunningham. 6th. Jake Brown 7th. Dylan Westbrook got back up to 8th. Scott Kruder 9th. And Caleb Wood, good comeback for him after problems in the Northern Summer Nationals, comes home with a top 10. Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky. The official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway over there on Highway 54 in Middleport. Check them out for all your firework needs. Don't forget the winner of this feature will draw the winning 50-50 number, so hold tight on that. As the top 3 head down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, and we'll hear from them in just a moment with Clinton Jeffrey, McDeman, Corey Turner, Ryan Turner, your top 3. One more feature to come for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division. Let's go down trackside. Clinton Jeffrey will talk with the podium finishers.
Thanks a lot, Greg. McDeman climbs out of this number 17 X car. He'll work his way around at the front. Jamie Collard and the crew in to congratulate him, and there he is. McDeman up on the top wing, ladies and gentlemen, here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. We'll let Mac get the safety gear off. We'll get a word with them here as we make it over to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. Mac, some nights you got to be fast, some nights you got to be lucky. Tonight you were both. Leaders got together and handed you this win. Still it counts in the points though, man.
Yeah, totally. Points don't really matter. I'm missing next week. Unfortunately, I got to attend a wedding. So looking forward to that, going to Europe and everything, but it always sucks missing a race. I was really looking forward to battling with Scott and Dylan. You know, they're the top 2 guns here, and when we started top 4, all 3 of us, I knew it was going to be a gun show. So I really wish we got to battle it out because you could have thrown a blanket over us when that crash happened, but we'll take the win. Nathan's down in Knoxville, so I'm pretty sure he's pumped that we're here. I got to thank my girlfriend. She's at home watching, and all of our great sponsors. Nitro 54, Dan Nanticoke lent me a motor. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for us. We wouldn't be on the track without him. So great night, points night. Doesn't really matter in the end of things, but we're always happy to be on the concrete.
Good job. There he is, McDeman. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get set up with 2nd and 3rd. Guys, give us a moment down here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane.
Well, that was an interesting bit of news. The McDeman won't be here next week, so I'm sure he's hoping for rain.
Yeah, geez, way to drop some big news on us. But yeah, certainly we'll be looking for rain for that 17X machine. That would be the only way he could stay in championship contention, and I would imagine he's got the point lead now in that number 17X. And Clinton Jeffries down in victory lane with our 2nd place finisher, Corey Turner.
2nd and 3rd here today, Corey. Great run for you. They got together. This handing you a podium finish, though. That's a great run. You were in it at the end, though. Talk about the end of that race.
Yeah, our car was getting better and better every lap. I can't say enough about this team. We're really hitting our stride. We just need to keep digging, and we got a good shot at 2 championships here. So we just got to we control our own destiny. So just keep putting on the podium and see what we can do. I really got to thank Jay and his family and Celeste and our good luck charm Clark. He wasn't here tonight, but great group of guys. Gord works his ass off in the shop, and I can't say enough about Burger Bar and Ace One, Mobile One, Charlie B. Honey, and Six Nations Bingo.
There you have it.
Corey Turner.
His brother Ryan, another run. Ryan, you were coming on at the end. Great run here to finish 91 car.
Yeah, the car seemed to come around. I think it was driver as well. I knew I had to get smooth. You know, straight. You're a lot faster. You know, those cautions helped me. Just had a couple lap cars in front of me. I was hoping to at least get a shot at my brother.
Not bad run. How about it for Mac and Corey and Ryan Turner? Get it done here tonight, Ryan.
Thank board, my crew, my family, our sponsors, and of course the fans.
There you have it, Turner boys, second and third tonight. McNamee gets it done. That's all from Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, guys. We got 50-50. We'll send it up to you while we take care of that.
Thanks, Clinton, as we get set for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks when we return.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Coming up this month at Ohsweken Speedway. August 9th, Renway Energy presents Christmas in August, featuring a full card of action and adults who bring a new unwrapped gift get in for just $5. Friday, August 16th, Jibs Action Sports presents Autograph Night, and Halloween in August, kids in costumes get in for free. Come and trick or treat the front straightaway while you meet the drivers up close at intermission. And August 23rd, Gale's Auto Aftermarket presents Gale's Cash Blast 50, a $2,000 to win 50 lapper for the Thunderstocks. For more information on this week's action and everything coming up this season, log on to OhswekenSpeedway.com.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway with one more feature to go. It's the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks, our 8-cylinder division, ready to go with their 20-lap main event. Clayton Johns, it's been a good night so far tonight. One more feature to go, and the Thunderstocks always put on a good show here.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got one of the most exciting brands of racing, and if we get a race that's half as exciting as that third heat race we saw earlier tonight, Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks were in for a good one. If you remember, we had Logan Schwedek battling it out with Dave Bailey and Ryan Dinning for the win in heat race number 3. Ryan Dinning came out on top, and we'll see who comes out on top at the end of 20 laps here tonight. And on this very wide racetrack, these drivers like to get 4 and the odd time even five wide. So we'll see what we get from these Thunderstock drivers here this evening. $20-lap A main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stock. Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks will roll off like this. And starting on the pole out of Brantford, Ontario, in car number 1, it's Chris Dickey. Outside of him, also out of Brantford, in car number 40, it's Derek Liverance. Inside row number 2, out of Ohsweken, the 38 is Frank Turkey. 4th starter out of Keister Center in the 41 is Adam Plazik. And lining up 5th out of Thorold, the number 11 of Go Fast People. 6th starter out of York, Ontario, the 14 is Johnny Lowenberg. And going off inside of row number 4, the 7th starter, 21X, is Mark Bazine. 8th starter out of Keister Center, Ontario, in car number 28, the DNS Automotive number 28 machine of Jim Lampman. Going 9th out of Canfield, Ontario, the 32 of Mark Fawcett, and 10th out of Guelph, Ontario, the number 79 of Christopher Hale. Inside of row number 6, the 25 of Ken Sargent, and going off from the 12th starting spot, also out of Keister Center, Ontario, the 28D of Donnie Lampman. 13th out of Jerseyville, Ontario, the 53 of Logan Schwedek, and 14th Heat 3 winner out of Hagersville, the number 8 of Ryan Dinning. Going off 15th, the current point leader out of Hagersville, the 49 of Dave Bailey. Outside of him, out of Hagersville as well, the 23 of Trevor DeBoer. Going off 17th out of Victoria, Ontario, the 84 RK, that is Ryan Beagle. And outside of him, in row number 9, the number 2 of Lee Winger. 19th starter in car number 43, that is Kyle Andrus. He's at Hamilton, Ontario. 20th starter at Hartley, Ontario, the 37 of Rob Hoskins. Jeff Roloffs goes from the 21st spot in the 6R machine, and the 22nd starter is Aaron Rawitzki. He drives car number 4. 23rd starter in the A1 is Spencer General Thomas. And 24th this evening in the 28K, that is Kathleen Lampman. And shotgun on the field from the 25th starting spot tonight in car number 13 is Casey Huffman. 25 cars, 20 laps is the distance for these Middlemort Mechanical Thunderstocks. Green flag set to wave next time by off of corner number 4. Chris Dickey and Derek Liverance on the front row for this A feature.
Well, Chris Dickey had a good run in his qualifying heat tonight, and looked like the Chris Dickey we're used to seeing, and let's see if he can put it all together here tonight for the 20-lap feature event in that car number 1 as they bring it down the front straightaway. The final feature of the night is underway. Dickey and Frank Turkey Jr. now side by side.
Good start for the number 1 machine. As for the 38 of Frank Turkey, a 41 of Adam Plazek tried to go to the outside, didn't quite work for him in corners 1 and 2, but gains a bit of momentum back here in turns 3 and 4 as a whole gaggle of cars work 4 wide. Jim Lampman right across the nose of Logan Schwedek's number 53 in the middle of the pack.
That good battle towards the back, but you see that battle at the front. Frank Turkey Jr. has the top spot. Chris Dickey back to second, then it's Sargent and Liverance side by side, 3rd and 4th. Mark Fawcett and Logan Schwedek back there 5th and 6th.
Positions are changing as fast as we're talking at this point. This early in the race as Ken Sargent moves past Chris Dickey for the 2nd spot. Logan Schwedek getting by as well. Dickey pinned up on the top side of the racetrack.
Troubles for Johnny Lowenberg down there in corner number 2. And the Window Works number 14. That car was showing some smoke before we got to the start of this one.
I feel like I can smell it. I smell something.
You can feel the smell?
I can feel the smell, yeah.
Wow, that's a thick smell.
I said smell something, not feel something. You made that up.
Tough break for Mark Bazine, guys. He came out. The car would not refire here on the front straightaway. They tried to push it off, would not fire. He got back in the pit area. Then it got fired after we went green, came out. You must take the initial green to continue the race. He was sent back to the pits. He will not continue.
That's a tough break in one of those situational things where you wish the rule was different, but it's in place for a reason. Essentially that you can't start a race on lap 10 or something to that effect, but tough break there for Mark Bazine, the 21X. The rule's the rule. As we get set to come back to green here in 1 lap's time. Ken Sargent being scored as the race leader in the 25 machine. Frank Turkey Jr. will start to his outside here on this restart, with Logan Schwedek and Chris Dickey in row number 2. Schwedek got kind of bottlenecked there on the 2nd lap, coming down the front straightaway. And then shortly after that, a hole opened up through the middle, and he followed Ken Sargent through up into the top 5. See what those 2 drivers can do on this restart. So we get set to come back to green. 3 down, 17 to go. Final feature of the night is for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks.
Back to the green flag. Ken Sargent marches them down the front stretch. Logan Schwedek to the inside of Frank Turkey Jr. Looking for spot number 2, and here comes Brewster Baker. Dave Bailey's in 4th right now. The point leader comes in with a nice cushion. 50 points heading into the stretch drive here. And I don't think Dave really cares. He's all about wins, and sure, he'd like another championship, but you know he's going to be at the front before this one's over.
Started back in the 15th position, already working his way up into 3rd here on lap number 5, and we'll have to track down both Ken Sargent and Logan Schwedek, who each have about 5 separate car lengths on him, as Ken Sargent clicks off lap number 5. 5 down, 15 to go. Spencer General Thomas around at the top of turn number 2, gets it pointed back in the right direction. Will stay green as the race leaders approach the A1.
Sargent gets by. Now Schwedek will try to do the same on the lap car as Watching some of the mid-pack racing going on. There's Dinning, Frank Turkey Jr., Chris Hale. Top three broken away. Then it's Frank Turkey Jr., Ryan Denning, Chris Hale, Trevor DeBoer. 4 cars going at it right there for that 4th position.
They're 3 wide, Greg, for 9th right now between Derek Livens, Ryan Beagle, and Aaron Rowitsky. Rowitsky hitting the better of them up on the top side of the racetrack right now in that black and yellow number 4, and General Thomas around right in front of the field. Caution flag flies.
Back under the caution. 13 laps left to go here in our Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature event.
Spencer General Thomas will take that A1 car to the pit area. Sounds like his night is done.
Seeing still some smoke coming out of the 14 of Johnny Lowenberg. He's had his struggles here tonight. Again, don't forget to be back next Friday night. Gibbs Action Sports presents Kids Race Night in support of the Canadian National Autism Foundation. And my mistake, we have not been promoting this fact, but it's also the Southern Ontario Sprints combined race with the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars. Their lone appearance here in 2019. The only combined race this year, as the Patriots and ESS did not come this year for that, but they were, of course, many of them a part of our Northern Summer Nationals. Green back out, Ken Sargent again leads him down into corner number 1. Schwedick, Bailey, your top 3. Then you've got Dinning and everyone else stacked up behind him with Hale, Turkey Jr., Trevor DeBoer, Donnie Lampman all there.
Man, what a battle there for a 4th on back. Christopher Hale and Ryan Dinning leaning on each other there coming out of turn number 4. Dinning falls in line, now tries to turn it underneath Hale. They work off of corner number 3 as Logan Schwedick works to the outside of Ken Sargent in the battle for the lead. They pull to the outside door of the number 25 machine, works off of corner of number 4 this time. Ken Sargent still the point man. Schwedick falls in line, and Dave Bailey right there as well. Lap number 9 in the books, 11 to go.
Good 3-car fight up at the front. Ken Sargent and that 25 Club 54 racing machine holding on over Logan Schwedick and Dave Bailey, the champ, right there in that 3rd position. Chris Hale having a good solid run tonight, something he has not had a lot of this year. He's had a lot of struggles and has finally got that car back to where we know it should be, and he was on fire last year, figuratively, in that 79 machine, picking up some big wins late in the season. Now he looks to have things fixed, riding up there in 4th.
Yeah, was real dominant in the 79 towards the end of the 2018 season, and just as we had a battle for the lead shaping up, we have a caution flag out, I believe, for debris in turn 2. Turn 2. On our Quebec-themed Friday night.
So tomorrow night you're at Brighton.
I am at Brighton.
Oscar
Speedway.
Hot Rods are there, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they? Is that the rescheduled event because I got rained out?
So. No, you're announcing it. You don't know. That's good to know.
Well, I was worried about tonight. Tomorrow's
okay.
tomorrow. I'll prepare for that tomorrow.
You're worried about having shoes to come tonight.
Yeah, we covered that on the way in. I bought a very nice new pair of running shoes while I was away on my honeymoon a couple of weeks ago and realized I left my usual racetrack shoes at home. and went, oh no, I'm going to have to wear these, or I'm going to have to stop at Walmart and get a $20 pair of shoes to get through the night. And then, well, I found another way to get a pair.
Yeah.
I borrowed a pair. Let's put it
borrowed,
that way.
yes. It's not called borrowing if you don't ever plan to return them.
He won't miss them. It's fine.
Really, who would let you borrow a pair? I think that's the last thing I'd lend anybody is shoes. They're yours.
I was going to say
underwear.
underwear, but yeah.
It's on the short
that too,
list.
you're not borrowing that. You can have them. Set to come back to green, 11 down, 9 to go. Ken Sargent still the leader. Dave Bailey to his outside. Good restart for the 25, back underway.
Sargent having a good run here in that 25 machine. Bailey on the outside of Logan Schwedek, and is all tightened back up. It's gotten very interesting. Trevor DeBoer's right there now. Christopher Hale, Ryan Denning, Ryan Beagle, Donnie and Jim Lampman.
How about Logan Schwedek, who coming back at the race leaders here. He got by Dave Bailey for the second spot in that number 53 machine. Came right through the middle of Sargent and Bailey. Now, Bailey's going to try and return the favor. Thought there might be a hole through the middle there, but Sargent running too close to Schwedek's number 53, and at the start-finish line, Schwedek nosing ahead for the lead on lap 13.
One around. Oh! Kathleen Lampman goes around, and Kyle Andrus gets into the 28K. Brings us back under the caution flag as Aaron Rowitsky had just rejoined the field. Have a look at this replay here as Lampman just goes around, and Kyle Andrus, nowhere to go. So we've talked about next week. In 2 weeks' time, it's the Gales Auto Aftermarket Cash Blast, as Clinton Jeffrey mentioned, and then on the 30th, that's when the mini stocks will have the added cash, courtesy of Gales Auto Aftermarket. All four divisions racing on the 23rd as well as the 30th, and that 30th date brought to you by Pinty's Delicious Foods. That will be our next MAV TV Canada broadcast on Friday, August the 30th. And then that's also back to school backpack night.
Say that 5 times fast.
Well, guys, Kyle Andrus down here with the rad punched out in the oil cooler. And I can tell that because it's got both coolant and oil leaking out of the front end of this car here. So they'll throw some Speedy Dry down there. Shouldn't be too much of an issue as it's a small puddle right now. Big Red here from Steve's Towing. We'll get him off here shortly and we'll be ready to go.
And our championship chases all come to a close on Friday, September the 6th. Epic Raceware presents Championship Friday night. Final points for all the divisions. And that takes us into our final big events of the year. Friday, September the 13th, Burger Barn and Bradshaw Brothers present the night before the Nationals. And I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. There's been talk that it's going to be, instead of 360 sprint car twin 15s, it would be triple 15s.
Ooh.
But I'm not sure if that's, maybe I just let the cat out of the bag.
It's not that big a cat. It's fine. It's like a lynx or something. It's not a tiger.
Well, Tommy told me this, and I usually take everything Tommy tells me as
gospel, yeah.
That it's fact. So sorry, Tommy, if I just said something incorrectly.
I mean, this Canadian Sprint Car Nationals is Tommy's baby, so if he's telling you something, then
it's probably true.
Yeah.
And then we'll conclude the season Saturday, September 14th on MAV TV Canada with the Nitro 54 Variety and Aero Express 15th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Back to the green, and Logan Schwedek now is your leader. Sargent back to second, Bailey in third, side by side there. DeBoer, Beagle, and now Hale. 3 wide back there.
What a run by Logan Schwedek, who faded into the back of the top 5 there early on and then had a resurgence in the middle portion of this race to take the lead in this one with 6 laps to go. Dave Bailey's found his way back into the second spot. Ken Sargent third. And here comes Trevor DeBoer in that number 23 machine. He's moved up into the 4th position while Ryan Beagle and Chris Hale battle it out for 5th.
5 laps left to go in our final feature of the night. It's the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. It's been an interesting one so far. Logan Schwedek looking to get the better of Dave Bailey here tonight, but if you're out in front with 5 laps to go and there's one guy behind you, you don't want to be behind you. It's that 49, the Gibbs Action Sport Queensland Chevrolet machine. Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey.
Yeah, you can see Schwedek is pushing the pace in that number 53 machine, not slowing at all. Last time by, he was a 10th quicker than Dave Bailey's number 49 machine. We'll see what he can do this time by. There'll be 3 laps to go as he knocks number 17 off the board here. Crossing the start-finish line. That time it was Bailey that was a 10th quicker, and now he shows the nose to the inside of Schwedek's number 53. Got to the left rear quarter panel that time in corners 1 and 2, but Schwedek regained a car length advantage down the back chute. Side by side off of corner number 4. Still Schwedek the advantage with 2 laps to go.
Schwedek looking for his first win of the year in the Advantage Electric number 53. The driver to Jerseyville has the lead. Works it down the backstretch, coming to the white flag this time by. Dave Bailey trying to find any sort of an advantage. He's got a good run down in corners 3 and 4.
If there's a spot that 40, no, and he goes around. Bailey around, he keeps his foot in it though, and Sargent will get by both him and Trevor DeBoer.
He's still in 4th.
He still managed to stay in 4th. And Logan Schwedek hits the cruise control button with a half a straightaway advantage. He'll bring it off of turn number 4. And double checkers for the final time tonight from Cameron Thompson. Logan Schwedek goes to victory lane. Ken Sargent, Trevor DeBoer, Dave Bailey, and Ryan Beagle, the top 5 tonight. Wow, what a finish.
Career win number 2 for Logan Schwedek in the Advantage Electric car number 53. Driver to Jerseyville, Ontario, picks up the win. And how about Dave Bailey spins at a corner number 4. We're going to see the replay here and still ends up in 4th.
I think he just touched the left rear quarter panel of Schwedek's 53.
Nice bit of driving by Dave Bailey. Wow. Doesn't win, but he's still all the talk on the final lap is Dave Bailey, and he'll still go into next week as the point leaders. Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky for one more time here tonight as we get set to go down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane and talk to the top 3. Thank you everyone who's joined us here live. You're on Renway Energy Night. Don't forget to join us next Friday night, 7:30 start time, right here at the Big O. Let's go down trackside. Clinton Jeffrey down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane.
Well, Logan Schwedek works out of the Advantage Electric 53 to his 2nd ever feature win here in the Thunderstocks. How about it for Logan Schwedek? Come on around here, Logan. We got a word with you. Did you see what happened with Bailey behind you? Obviously, but do you know what happened?
I don't know everything that happened, but I knew something happened, so you'd have to fill me in on that one.
I believe he got a PC and spun out and finished around 4th up there on the board. It was a heck of a battle, but man, you held them off regardless. You were the man to beat tonight. That's something to be proud of when you got Bailey and DeBoer nipping at your back bumper.
Yeah, it was a good race. Honestly, Kenny ran a good race the whole time. I saw on the board Trevor was working his way up, and he has a few wins this year, so I knew he'd be a competitor for sure.
Who do you want to thank, Logan?
I'd like to thank Advantage Electric, S&S Cleaning, Xterra, Scott's Landscaping, RM Signs, and everybody who helps me out on the car, all my buddies, my girlfriend, my dad, and anybody else who I'm forgetting.
There you have it, Logan Schwedek, guys. We'll get set up with 2nd and 3rd. Take it away for a second. We'll get right back to you.
2nd career victory for Logan Schwedek. A good run for him tonight. He was solid. By no means was that handed to him by what happened. So a great win for Logan Schwedek as we get ready to hear from 2nd and 3rd place.
Wild finish there. Did you like what you saw in front of you? It worked out for you, Sarge, but it could have been a lot worse. Bailey still came back to 4th, but a gulper for you.
It was ugly, man. I come off turn 4. I saw Dave spinning. I saw Trevor. I ducked to the bottom. I just cleared Trevor, and I'm like, oh, my God. But we got through it.
Solid run here for Ken We're here to DeBoer. Trevor, another great run for you. Anytime you're battling out here on the concrete, it's a good end to your Friday. And another good one. What happened with Bailey there right in front of you?
About the same story as Kenny. It was all of a sudden there he was going around and just try not to hit him. And Kenny snuck on the inside and it was hit the gas again when the way was clear.
Solid run there. That'll do it from Mr. Transmission Victory Lane for tonight, guys. It's Renway Energy. I want to thank Brad and all the staff down at Renway for everything they do for us here at the Speedway. How about a hand for your top three? Logan Schwedek, Ken Sargent, and Trevor DeBoer. Get it done for a final time in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane here tonight. Turn up to you guys to take us home.
Well, Greg, thank you very much, Clinton Jeffrey, and a fantastic finish to an awesome night of racing. And not to hit on the Dave Bailey train too much, but he spins out in the last lap and still manages 11th straight top 5 finish. I was saying to start the season, but we're in August, but he's got 11 straight top 5 finishes this year. Has not finished outside the top 5 in 2019. Just impressive for him. But tonight belongs to Logan Schwedek, as you mentioned, his second career win and a great run for the 53 team.
When you can have a spin like that and still do that nice of a job in recovery, you're that good of a driver, and that's how good Dave Bailey is. He's good even when he's spinning. So big win tonight for Logan Schwedek. Good run by a lot of different drivers tonight, some different faces in Victory Lane, and a fun night of racing. And I had a lot of fun with you up here in the booth, Clayton, and we'll be back. I believe you might be back again next Friday.
I think I will be. Should be a good time. I had a lot of fun tonight, and if the occasion should come that I'm back here next week with you, I certainly would look forward to the opportunity.
Well, we want to thank everyone that tuned in on Facebook and YouTube here tonight. We want to thank all the fans that are here in attendance and remind everyone, be back next Friday night, 7:30 start time. Again, it's Kids Race Night in support of the Canadian National Autism Foundation, and the Southern Ontario Sprints will be here for their combined race with the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars. 7:30 start time, autograph session down trackside. So either make sure you're here for it live in person or tune in on Facebook or YouTube. On behalf of the Steyrs family, all the staff and officials that make these races possible, I want to thank all of them. And on behalf of my co-announcers tonight, Clinton Jeffrey, Clayton Johns, my name is Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you right back here next Friday night.